Forward to Audubon, Iowa Valley on the KMA Extreme. Thursday night, I'll have the call alongside Todd Jacobson as a trip to the Dome is at stake there in 8-player action. Talking now with Audubon head coach Sean Burks. Coach, another chance to go to the Dome. I know this is something your program's been able to do a lot lately, but I'm sure it's something you never take for granted. How are we feeling as you get ready for Thursday?
Yeah, good news. The good thing is we've been here before. The tough part of that is it's never easy. It's our sixth trip, and we've cracked 2 of the 5 times we've done it before. So, it's an easy thing, and we talk to our kids about, to take full advantage, make sure you're soaking these moments in along the way, because, like on senior night, for example, our kids knew it wasn't their last home game. So fortunately, we knew last Friday that was probably going to be more of our senior night. So that was kind of the talk to them. And I openly talked about our guys before when I got to the Dome, and we finally cracked through in 2018, and you act like, okay, we've done this. Now we'll really figure out how to do this over and over. And we got back in 2021. I remember talking to Coach Jeremy Christensen, and he just said, soak it in. Take every chance you get, every picture you can take, every moment you can get, and savor it, because you never know when it's your last. And it's actually every time you're at the Dome, it's the last time. So I remember doing that in 2021, and since then it has been the last time. So yeah, our program sets out to at the start of every year. One of our goals is to win the district, and then make the playoffs, make the Dome, and bring home a state title. And we've done the first 2, and here we are with a chance to do the third one.
You look back at last Friday night, you get to this point with a dominant win over Montezuma. It just seemed like you guys were firing on all cylinders, from in every phase. Tell me about that win and how you guys were able to execute the way you did.
Yeah, I feel like all 3 phases played really, really well. And there's been times in the year that the defense has carried the offense. There's been some times where it's been the other way. There's been some days where our special teams has had some really big plays, and there's also been times where someone else, there's been some special teams lapses or whatever. So, for all 3 phases to go out and not have really any major lapses, offensively, our varsity didn't even see a third down, let alone a 4th down or a turn or a punt. Defensively, I think they end up the night with some negative rushing yards and a shutout. And special teams, they kicked it away from us in the return game to what we were set up on short field. And then otherwise, just coverage-wise, I thought our kick coverage was probably the best they've been all year. So, really a complete performance from our guys, and I thought that was really good to see. Hopefully, we're pulling up and pulling in the right direction as you want to be playing your best ball late in the year.
Do you feel like you guys are playing your best football right now, or is there maybe still even another level?
Well, you hope so, but every week is such a unique challenge. Sometimes you match up a little better with others. We had a pretty good idea that we were going to be, we'll have some ideas of what we wanted to do against Montezuma offensively. And we knew that, we were bigger than them. Quite frankly, we were just probably be able to out-physical them, and that really showed on Friday night. Their skill guys, their back 5, average something in the 5'10", 160 range. And we have a lot of situations where our linemen are pulling, getting on skill guys, and those guys are 225 to 250. And then even our tight ends are, 195 to 215. So we just have some physical mismatches where, that's not going to be the case going forward. We're going to see some teams with some good athletes, some good size. We're not just going to be able to line up and be bigger than them. But, Friday night we took full advantage.
Now, looking to Thursday night, trip to the Dome on the line, and you make the trek east to Marengo to face an Iowa Valley team that has put up video game numbers throughout the year offensively, with Nolan Kriegel doing out-of-this-world stuff. Speak to kind of, what you're seeing from them and the challenges of going against a team like that.
Yeah, the good news is a lot of the stuff looks like what we do. A lot of the formations, a lot of the concepts. It really, there's a lot of mirror image things going on there. So for our scout team, I think that makes it a little bit easier. It's our term. We can use our terminology. We can use our formations. But it doesn't make it quite game-like because we don't have anybody like that. Their dudes are impressive, and no one's at the top of that list. So I think people are going to see, if it's a casual fan tuning in, you're going to see a lot of similarities formationally, schematically. Both of us run the ball about 80% of the time. Both of us can throw the ball, but would rather not. Both of us use the quarterback run game primarily, but we also use our running back kind of to split it up and even the carries out. a lot of really similar things, and there's a reason we're both putting up really big numbers because what they do offensively and what we try to do offensively is get the numbers advantage and run the quarterback, and no one's a good enough athlete, and so are their other kids that they hit it pretty strong and they block it well and they're physical, and when those 8 guys do their job, they're tough to stop.
Yeah, and, with Kriegel this year, I think he's got like 2,500 total yards, 53 total touchdowns. I know you guys in the past at Audubon have played phenomenal athletes, whether that be like a Lane Speaker that comes to mind. I know everyone's a little different. What are the things defensively you guys will have to do to kind of keep him bottled?
I think that the unique thing with him is his frame. He's pretty tall and lanky, and he uses that strength where if you don't get into his frame, he's going to be really good at breaking tackles, and then he's got the speed, to be able to run away. So we're going to need to do our best to make him change direction. And if he's at full speed, he's going to be tough to get into his frame. So I think that's what's special about him. But then also they do a really good job of scheming it. Where if you're focusing too much on him, they'll handle the running back, they'll handle a little wing reverse.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome in to Majestic Marengo, the final stop on the road to the Dome for one of these two 8-player teams, either the Wheelers of Audubon or the Tigers of Iowa Valley. All year there's been a debate among the Iowa High School Athletic Association Rankings Committee. Who's number 4, who's number 5 between these two? Tonight it gets settled with a trip to Cedar Falls hanging in the balance. I'm Trevor Mader alongside Todd Jacobson. Todd, 2 undefeated teams fighting for a spot in Cedar Falls. What more could you ask for?
We are in for a great playoff game. The quarterfinals here in Marengo, you've got 2 teams that almost are identical. 2 10-0 teams, terrific quarterback play, 2 young quarterbacks, one a junior, one a sophomore, 2 dynamic offenses. Iowa Valley scores at 65 points per game, only giving 19 points a game. They've won every 45 points per game. And then you got the Audubon Wheelers coming in with the 8-man number 1 scoring offense in the state, an 8-man at 72 points per game, and their number 4 scoring defense at 10. Last week, Montezuma in the second round only had 55 total yards.
Welcome back to Marengo KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Apologies, Trevor Mader, Todd Jacobson with you. Hopefully that's the only technology kink we have of the night. And Iowa Valley with a rapid start. First play, Nolan Kriegel to Lane Pesca for a 65-yard touchdown. And the Tigers are on the board. And Todd Jacobson, just to start, they wanted to draw up. And they make the extra point as well. Missed the extra point to make it 6-0.
Yep, this is Nolan Kriegel's, their 6'3", 185-pound quarterback, junior quarterback of the Tigers from Iowa Valley. They rolled to the right with twin receivers up top, and then a slot receiver, Pesca, gets loose as they sense that it might have been a run. That's his 4th touchdown reception of the year, a 60-yarder.
Yeah, so Iowa Valley, an offense that's put up a lot of points throughout the year, and we were talking in the pregame, 2 of the top rushing offenses in the state, Todd, and first play, the Tigers go to the air, and it works out for them.
Well, this, with both defenses, you really wonder, have they both been tested this year? And I don't think just by the early sign, that's one of those early indicators that Audubon's going to have to buckle down on the back half of that defense because he was wide open. There was not a Wheeler around him.
So now Audubon will return this on the right side. Paxton Bean around the 12-yard line. Ball comes out. He does get back on it, though, at around the 13, and that'll be where the Wheelers begin their next possession. And almost a disastrous start for Audubon. But Todd Jacobson, now we get to see this Wheelers offense that has rolled throughout the year go to work for the first time tonight.
Again, as I said in the pregame, this is the number 1 scoring offense in 8-man football, and you're going to see a lot of the sophomore quarterback Aiden Kiergaard tonight, who has 660 yards rushing. He's thrown, 1,256 yards rushing, over 660 yards passing.
They will run it right side. Mason Kasterbauer on the first play. Gets maybe a yard or so to the 15-yard line, but it'll be 2nd and 9 now coming up for Audubon. And Todd Jacobson, as we look at tonight, let's start on the Audubon Wheeler side. What are the keys?
Well, their key is going to be to keep the ball on the ground and just try to attack with their 2-headed monster, that Kasper Bauer run right there, followed by Kiergaard, the quarterback. and then limit your turnovers. Keep it to 0 because those are going to be game changers.
They will run it a couple yards, Kiergaard to the 18-yard line, and now it's 3rd and 7 coming up for Audubon. This is an Audubon offense. They don't throw it a lot, but when they have thrown it, they've been efficient this year.
And that, a lot of times you're catching your defense, off guard, and right here, this is kind of an early, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6. Be ready for them to throw the ball here as the Wheelers come out in trips. 3 receiver set for the Wheelers.
So 3rd and 7 for Audubon. You mentioned trips left. Kiergaard back to pass. There's a screen. It's caught. Brody Weber, all kinds of room. He'll get the first down and brought out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. And a big 3rd down conversion for Audubon will keep this drive going.
Kind of a sneaky setup there as they ran 3 receivers and kept their tight end in. They ran all the receivers down the field and kind of kept him back for the kind of one blocker ahead of the tight end screen.
Gain of 15 makes it a 1st and 10 from the 33. Kiergaard will keep it up the middle, breaking tackles and about one more away from a big run. He'll be near the first down marker. It'll depend on the spot. But Audubon's starting to get their offense going. It looks like they'll mark him about a yard shy.
Patient run by Kiergaard. He was really, that was not even a designed run. He was not like scrambling or anything. He was really patient, waited for his blocks to happen, and then cut it up for that 9-yard gain.
To the Iowa Valley 37 they go, 2nd and 1. Kiergaard rolling right, quarterback run right side, gets along the sideline, first down and more, and tripped up inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. That was Chance Hoyt making the touchdown-saving tackle.
On the carry, brought down by Hoyt.
And he's the safety back there, so if he doesn't get a hold of his cleats right there, that's a Kiergaard touchdown.
Audubon from the Tiger.
So a gain of 19 will make it 1st and 10 for Audubon from the 18-yard line. Trying to answer after the quick Iowa Valley strike. Kiergaard with 2 receivers to the right, empty backfield for Kiergaard. 9:40 to go here in the first quarter. Kiergaard taking his time on the snap. Quarterback draw, right side, seam parts, cuts up the middle, keeps fighting. Flag does come in on the far side.
That's going to be a hold.
Kiergaard gets marked down about the 12, but there's a penalty marker at about the 16 that's going to probably bring this back.
Signaled against Audubon.
And it's a hold on Audubon. And Todd Jacobson, when you're an offense like Audubon who wants to run the football way more than they do throw it, penalties that make it a long down and distance are not your friend.
Every coach will tell you they want to stay between the sticks, especially if you're a team that runs the ball. And that first down play worth a 10-yard penalty does not help things.
So now first down and 18 from the 26 for the Wheelers. Kiergaard taking the snap, wanting to run. Left side, gets tackled for a loss. That was Hoyt again making the tackle for loss at around the 32-yard line.
He's their defensive player right now. Is someone who, I said he was playing safety. Heck, he's playing more of a linebacker position, and he actually came through on the backside, and they kind of left him. They blocked their defensive lineman, but left the blitzing linebacker who came through for that sack.
2nd and 23 now coming up for this Audubon offense on their first drive of the night. Iowa Valley struck on their first play. The Wheelers trying to counter. Kiergaard will put Mason Kasserbauer on his left hip in the shotgun. Kiergaard wanting to throw, overthrew Kasserbauer as he tried to get him out in the flat. Nolan Kriegel, their star quarterback and plays linebacker, was in coverage, and it's incomplete.
And that wouldn't have even, he caught it off the ground there. Kiergaard did, the quarterback, and then just stood up in time to throw it to the flat. But even if he would have caught it, that was not going to go for any amount of a gain. So that brings up every coach's worst nightmare, 3rd and forever.
3rd and 18 for Audubon at the 31-yard line. You're 3rd and 23, and you're kind of in a tough spot, too, in terms of where you're at on the field. Kiergaard will run and doesn't really get anything. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. He was tripped up in the backfield initially, and then gets maybe an extra yard out of that. That was Jacob Airy and Lane Qualley that were in the area to bring him down. It's 4th and long for Audubon.
Looks like they might. Looks like they're going to punt.
Don't probably have a lot of plays in your playbook for 4th and 24. But they're lining up like they might go for it. Of course, you got to be cognizant of the quick kick. Kiergaard is also their quarterback or punter, but they're going to throw. He'll take a shot left side. Austin Christensen hauls it in. Touchdown, Audubon on 4th and long. The Wheelers cash in. Kiergaard to Christensen, and we're tied.
What a beautiful ball. You know, not every quarterback's going to sit there on 4th and long and just drop it in the basket. The only thing, was the corner, I think, probably might have just assumed that, no, they're not going to try to throw it long here. They're going for 2, which they've loved to do this year.
A 32-yard touchdown pass on 4th and forever from Aiden Kiergaard to Austin Christensen. And now Audubon has a chance to take the lead out of that. Oh, like a swinging gate look on this 2-point try. Kiergaard taking his time. Takes the snap, quarterback run, left side, trying to get to the sideline, and I think he got in. And they're going to say he did get in, and the 2-point try is successful. And the Wheelers successful on 4th down, take an 8-6 lead with 8:06 to go here in the first.
School juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by Agrivision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
Welcome back to Marengo KMA Extreme, online KMAland.com. We've had 2 drives and 2 touchdowns. Audubon now leading Iowa Valley 8-6 after a touchdown pass on 4th and 23 from Aiden Kiergaard to Austin Christensen. So now they will kick it away. Orm Voigt is the kicker for Audubon, and this will go into the end zone for a touchback. And Todd, it was a quick strike for Iowa Valley. What are going to be the keys for them tonight?
Well, for Iowa Valley, they're all everything. 6'3", 180-pound quarterback who's gotten some recruiting visits already from Iowa and Iowa State. So he's their all everything as he now accounted for 41 touchdowns from on the ground, 12 touchdowns in the air, and obviously he's already, thrown one here early. So that's keep the ball in his hands and good things will happen.
Yeah, he is the state leader in total touchdowns with 58. Quarterback run, Kriegel gets a couple of yards, still fighting to about the 16-yard line, 17-yard line. And it'll be second down. Now, given that you've got a really, really talented rusher in Nolan Kriegel that you're going against, Todd, what are the keys for Audubon defensively?
Well, I think they saw something on tape, and I think that's why that first play from scrimmage from the Iowa Valley Tigers, I think that's why it worked, because they noticed something, and that's going to be an adjustment on the back end. Can the Wheelers cover these receivers?
Gain of 2 makes it 2nd and 8 from the 17. Kriegel will put a man in motion, and Stain Smith now he'll run right side and gets wrestled down right at the line of scrimmage. Big Hayden Larson spins him to the turf. This is an Audubon defense that has been a mean green machine so far this year. They have given up, I believe it's just 10 points per game, ranking in the top 5 in the state. And they've had a lot of really good performances, coming off an 82-0 win over Montezuma last week.
Well, neither team has really had any close games. Iowa Valley had in week 3, but Audubon's closest game all year was in week 5, a 32-point win over Fremont Mills.
That was a close game at the half before they pulled away. I would venture to say if they've trailed at any time this year, that would have been the only time. 3rd and 9 now for Iowa Valley. Kriegel rolling right side, wants to pass. High floating pass is caught by Chance Hoyt. He's got some room on the left side, gets a couple of yards back after he broke out of a tackle in the backfield, but it'll be 4th down for Iowa Valley.
Kriegel's pass complete to Hoyt.
Give him a gain of 3, it looks like. Jorgen Nowatzki makes the tackle for Audubon, and 4th down coming up for the Tigers.
What a response by the Wheeler defense. They really pursued the thing about playing any defense in 8-man is you better contain the edges. And when you've got explosive athletes like the Tigers from Iowa Valley have, that was a much better response after that one-play touchdown drive of the last one.
There's a short punt near the Iowa Valley sideline, and it'll actually stay in bounds, and it's down right near midfield on the Audubon side at the 38-yard line. So now Audubon will start this next drive. 1st and 10 from their own 38, up 8-6 after the touchdown pass on 4th and 23.
Sorry, Trevor. I was just going to say I think both defenses on those first drives from each team were a little maybe surprised by what happened. I mean, you're looking at Iowa Valley last week against Janesville. They gave up a negative 14 yards on Janesville's first 3 possessions.
1st and 10. They'll run it. Kiergaard right side gets out of a tackle in the backfield to the first down, and it'll scoot out of bounds just past the first down marker at the 30-yard line. So a first down run for Aiden Kiergaard, and the Wheelers are into Iowa Valley territory.
Again, the key to playing great defense at the 8-man level is not what you have all the time between the tackles, but can you contain the edges? And right now, Audubon's getting the advantage here.
So they've got it to the Iowa Valley 30. Kiergaard will run it right side. Kiergaard into the secondary. 10-5, touchdown Wheelers. Aiden Kiergaard from 30 out with his 31st rushing touchdown of the year.
Simple fake as he was in the shotgun, and simple fake to his running back Casper Bauer, who carried out a really good fake, which holds the linebackers when you carry out a good fake like that. And then Kiergaard simply just ran to the right side, right in front of the Wheeler bench, and was untouched.
So now Audubon will go for 2. They converted the first one. They have like an offset look, or at least they did on the last one. This time it's just line up in the shotgun, and Kiergaard wants to throw, pump fake, then just throws a pass over the middle as the defender was draped all over him. Brody Weber in the vicinity, but not able to make the catch. And Todd Jacobson, a good response from the Audubon defense and then offense, and all of a sudden they're up 14-6. Although we do have a flag on the 2-point conversion.
They're going to call grounding because
felt like Brody Weber was in the area.
But that makes me think that they didn't think. Yeah, they're calling grounding.
Intentional grounding signal.
And it is intentional grounding.
Conversion no good.
And Iowa Valley will decline that. So with 5:41 to go in the first, 14-6, advantage Audubon. KMA Extreme, KMAland.com.
Our name says it all. We're Total Farm Solutions. This is Eric with TFS, and when it comes to your operation, we want to be your total partner in and out of the field. We're your Pioneer seed dealer, along with bulk options and seed treatments. And we study genetics, offering scouting and agronomic solutions. Taking care of our customer is part of our total service. We're Total Farm Solutions. Give us a call or find our office just outside of Carson.
All right, welcome back to Marengo, KMA Extreme Online, KMAland.com. Hopefully we've got the technical difficulties worked out. Iowa Valley facing a 2nd and 3 from their 22 after a 7-yard run by Nolan Kriegel on first down, and Kriegel goes nowhere on second down. And Todd Jacobson, we saw Iowa Valley score on their first play. Audubon's defense bowed its neck on the second drive, and now they've got Iowa Valley in a 3rd down.
I tell you, Audubon's defensive line, you've got Obermeyer, Sorensen, and these guys are a good-sized group of 3 who are athletes, and they are getting after the offensive line from Iowa Valley, who right now they've come out in kind of a 2 running back, 2 tight end, and this time they're going to go unbalanced with a tight end and 2 running backs on the same side.
3rd and short coming up from the 23-yard line. They will run it right side. Kriegel gets to the sideline and then gets wrestled down. Nice double leg by Mason Kasperbauer at the 25-yard line.
Kriegel on the carry, brought down.
And they will give him the first down.
Yardage good for an Iowa Valley first.
Tackles like that, even though he got a first down, that sends a really big message.
So they needed 2, they get 2, and it's 1st and 10 now for Iowa Valley from their own 25-yard line. 14-6 advantage Audubon. 4:08 to go here in the first quarter. Kriegel, empty backfield. Left side is the strong side. Here on this 1st and 10, Kriegel will give it right side. Chance Hoyt cuts up field, breaking out tackle, still on his feet. 40, 30, and guided down and out of bounds at around the 26-yard line. Jorgen Nowatzki and Hayden Larson get him out of bounds, but a first down run for Hoyt will put the Tigers into Audubon territory.
So they had every single offensive player except for one on the right side of the center, and then they ran a kind of a power where they had two pullers from the receiver running back position and a lineman who was pulling, and Audubon snuffed it out, but they just missed two tackles at the point of attack.
So up to the 25-yard line, so a gain of 30 on the run by Chance Hoyt, and it's first down for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 25-yard line. Kriegel, right side, breaks up a tackle in the backfield, falls forward to around the 21-yard line before Austin Christensen brings him down. But a manageable gain on first down for the Tigers. We'll make it 2nd and 6 coming up for them as they try to counter the Audubon score that gave them the lead moments ago.
Yeah, Iowa Valley's kind of went into more of a power football mode now where they've got, you're giving it to your most important players. Mace, Nolan Kriegel being one of them, but keeping that ball also in Chance Hoyt, number 4, their running back's hands. Just playing power football right now. 2nd
and 6 for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 22. Kriegel up the middle, got about a yard or two before being brought down. Brody Weber makes the tackle at the 21-yard line. And now it's 3rd and 5, but Todd Jacobson an easy 4-down territory, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. And if you are going to go for it and try to throw the ball and maybe do something that would play action, this would be the down to do it, especially if you're going to go for it, which at the 20-yard line, of course, you're going to go for it. But beware that this might be the down where they attempt to throw the ball.
So 3rd and 5, they're taking their time, bringing in the play. Iowa Valley 10-0 on the year, ranked number 4 in the Iowa High School Athletic Association state rankings under the guidance of head coach Casey Kroll. Blew out Janesville and Moravia to get to this point. Empty backfield for Kriegel. Running left side, I think wanting to throw. Pocket collapsing, falls on the ground. There's a scramble for it. Iowa Valley gets back on it. I think it was Hoyt that pounces on it, but a loss of 6. And actually, no, it wasn't Hoyt. It was one of the linemen that pounced on it. And it ends up being a loss of 6. Owen Aries, the man that fell on the football. And the one thing Iowa Valley could not do on third and short is go backwards, and they do.
And you can credit number 60, Hayden Larson, defensive lineman from the Wheelers. He is their left defensive end, and they left him unblocked, and then they left the right defensive end, Brody Weber. He was also unblocked, and both of them met at the quarterback.
So a loss of 6 will make it 4th and 11. Audubon cashed in on a 4th and long. Iowa Valley trying to counter. Kriegel back to pass. Throws left side, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Carson Wessel comes up with the interception on the right side. He'll return along the sideline, still on his feet, and guides out of bounds at around the 35. Actually would have been, I think, better off just to knock it down initially, but then he gets the pick and makes a good return out of it, and the Audubon defense holds.
Good athlete playing in the back half of your defense. On 4th and long, the secondary from the Wheelers was playing at least 15 yards back. They anticipated that was going to have to be something that would be long. And there's the guy who started at quarterback for the Wheelers this year, Carson Wessel, who's back there and did return it out to midfield.
He's been a ball hawk throughout the year defensively. I know he had an injury early on in the year. They've leaned on him a lot more in a defensive role as Aiden Kiergar is taking over the reins. 1st and 10 from the 35. They'll run it. Mason Kasperbauer. Kasperbauer gets up to the 39-yard line before being brought down. So a gain of 4. Dane Smith made the tackle for Iowa Valley. And it's 2nd and 6 coming up for this Audubon offense.
Another great tackle from one of the secondary members there, Smith of the Tigers, because if he doesn't grab him there, that's a one-play touchdown run for Kasperbauer.
2nd and 6 for the Wheelers now from near midfield. They'll put it in the belly of Kasperbauer again, this time right side. Gets into Iowa Valley territory to the 39-yard line, just about squirmed through a crease, but couldn't quite. That was Smith again in there to help make the tackle. Now it's 3rd and 5 as we get down to the final minute of the first quarter.
You could tell these, especially these runners from Audubon, are really coached up well because they're very patient, waiting for their blocks to happen, not outrunning their blocks and waiting till they see the creases.
3rd and 5, under 30 to go here in the quarter. Kiergaard running right side and gets dropped in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. Chance Hoyt there to clean things up. He has played really good defensively through the first quarter. Also, Mason Hoyt back there as well, and it's a 4th down and 6 coming up for Audubon. Likely on the other side of this quarter, so we're down under 10 seconds to go in the quarter. And I'd imagine Coach Sean Burke's going to take this into the second quarter and talk about what they want to do. So 12 minutes in the books. It's been a fun one here thus far in Marengo. We go to the second, 14-6 in favor of the Whalers. KMA Extreme, KMAland.com.
School juniors and seniors, don't miss the Next Gen Tech Expo, November 8th in Council Bluffs. Hosted by Agrivision Equipment and Prairieland Partners, this is your chance to show off your skills and compete for a chance to win prizes and a spot in the 2026 We Lead Technician Institute. Earn paid tuition, tools, housing, benefits, and a paycheck. Register now at agrivisionequipment.com.
One quarter in the books here in Marengo. Audubon leading Iowa Valley 14-6. Class 8 player, state quarterfinal, Trevor Mater, Todd Jacobson with you. Todd, we've seen 12 minutes. Your thoughts on what we've seen from both teams thus far?
Both teams really trying to establish the run. So far, it's been the Wheelers who have done the better job of getting those big chunk running plays. You know, Iowa Valley got their touchdown on a breakdown in the secondary on a big pass play, but they've also kind of run out of gas when it comes to their running game. And then Audubon on this drive also came up short on their running game.
So the Wheelers are going to punt it on 4th and 6 from the 39. They've punted just 2 times all year. This will be number 3 as Hayden Larson kicks it away, and we'll see where it's spotted. And Todd, you know, that to me says that Audubon head coach Sean Burks feels really good about the way his defense is playing right now.
And I would agree with him on, not that he needs my permission, but their defense is starting to get, you know, when you're playing somebody, both these teams have never seen each other, so when you're playing a brand new opponent, you kind of get a feel for them, and here after the first quarter, you can kind of tell that both teams are settling in to this game, especially defensively. What is the other offense trying to do? And Audubon feels like they've got a pretty good idea.
So now Iowa Valley will take over on their own 23-yard line. Kriegel, quarterback run, right side, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, fights for maybe another yard or so after that. But, Todd, when you're going against a quarterback like Nolan Kriegel, who wants to get downhill, the best thing you can do is stretch that outside, and that worked for Audubon on that play.
Absolutely, Trevor. The worst thing that you can let happen against a really good athlete is let him get north and south. Keep his shoulder pads going sideline to sideline, and right there it was pretty much 7 of the 8 defensive players were pursuing him from inside out and holding the edge for that lack or probably 1 yard gain.
Gain of 1 makes it 2nd and 9 from the 24-yard line. Kriegel, quarterback run up the middle and gets to the 31 before lowering the shoulder to Mason Kasperbauer and going down. But manageable 2nd down run will make it 3rd and short for this Tigers offense.
It's a perfect second down run for the Tigers. Just a power ISO where they took 2 running backs, put them through the hole, and that he was going to run through.
It's an Iowa Valley team looking for their first state semifinal appearance since 2002. Audubon went in 2021. They were in the quarterfinals a year ago. Lost to eventual state champion Remsen St. Mary's. 3rd and 2 for Iowa Valley from their own 32. Kriegel, empty backfield shotgun. Right side is the strong side. And he'll run right side off the right tackle and fights for a couple extra yards. Easily gets the 1st down to the 37-yard line. You know, Nolan Kriegel really fast. Also a state qualifying wrestler, Todd.
That's always a good thing. You know, they can keep running him as much as they want because he's a tough-nosed kid who's also got a pretty good arm, so that's why I'm a little surprised that they haven't went back to their passing game a little bit. But when you're getting 4 and 5 yards on the ground right now.
1st and 10 from the 37. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the quarter. Kriegel running up the middle, dances out of a tackle in the backfield, still going, and gets brought down to the 30-yard line as he hit the second level. Carter Obermeyer made what could have been a touchdown-saving tackle, but a gain of 7
Kriegel on the carry, brought down by
or a gain of 13 rather for Kriegel's going to move the chains to the Audubon 30-yard line.
You can kind of see that Iowa Valley right now has said, why are we trying to run to the edges against a team with that much team speed let's keep it between our tackles and just keep running power and ISOs, and that's exactly what they've done. They've went big boy football here right up the gut.
1st and 10 from the Audubon 30. Kriegel takes the snap. He'll hand it off. Mason Hoyt spins out of a tackle, fights for a couple yards. There's the same trap play we saw earlier on. I believe it was with Chance Hoyt. This time Mason Hoyt gets a carry and gets a couple of yards.
Yeah, they had their tight end and 2 receivers on the right side, and it looks like that Kriegel, the quarterback, is going to start running to his right, and then he gives an inside handoff to one of the wingbacks, and they are pulling backside tackle and both running backs. So it looks like it's like a sweep play, but it's actually a counter for 3 yards.
2nd and 7 from the 27 for Iowa Valley as they're knocking on the door, trying to, at the bare minimum, get this down to a 2-point game, maybe tie it with a successful 2-point conversion. Pistol look, Kriegel with Hoyt behind him. They'll fake to Mason Hoyt. Kriegel kept it. It was the wrong move. He gets wrestled down. Hayden Larson makes the tackle for loss. That time a little too much eye candy for Iowa Valley, and Audubon didn't fall
Absolutely,
for it.
And he was not only just faking it, but then he put it behind his back after he faked it. And defensive lineman Hayden Larson, he kind of saw that trickery happening. So he was right there, unblocked too. So he said, no, you're not getting away from this one, which makes it now a 3rd and long for the Tigers.
3rd and 11 from the Audubon 31, 8:05 to go here in the first half. Kriegel in the shotgun. The left side is the strong side. That's where everybody's bunched. Kriegel will run left side up to the 28-yard line before being upended. And a 4th down now coming up for Iowa Valley from just inside the 30.
The Wheelers made a little bit of an adjustment here after a couple of those nice gains between the tackles. They brought an extra defensive player there into the box. Instead of playing a couple deep safeties, now they're playing with 3 linebackers. But we'll be curious what they do in this lineup with 4th and 8.
4th and 8 from the 28. See if they go to the air. Trips right. 1 to the left. 3 down linemen, of course. Kriegel rolling right. Will throw it back to Dane Smith, who makes the catch. Has to get a lot of room. Ball's on the ground. There's a scramble for it. I think Smith got it back, but he's going to be short of the 1st down, it looks like. Depending on the spot of the fumble. He actually fumbled it forward a little further than I thought.
Fumble on the play recovered by the Tigers.
So now the officials will converse. It was a throwback to Dane Smith, who had all kinds of room. As he was bobbing and weaving through traffic, he put the ball on the ground. He recovers it, and they're going to say it's just enough for a 1st down. They got a really generous spot on that to begin with.
That was a great play design as he was rolling to his right, and then there's one guy out here to the left all by himself, and it's just a simple throwback. And if he wouldn't have fumbled, he was not getting a 1st down on 4th down.
So now a 1st and 10 for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 20. They will run it up the middle. Hoyt, that being Chance Hoyt, to about the 17-yard line. Gain of 3, and it's 2nd and 7. Coming up for Iowa Valley with 6.5 to go here in the first half. And Todd Jacobson, we were talking before the game, we thought maybe this had the makings of a shootout. Right now, doesn't look like it's trending that way.
This drive probably is a telltale sign of how this first half has went, because this is a grind-out drive from the Tigers.
2nd and 7 from the 17. Kriegel with Hoyt on his right hip, Smith on his left. Fakes to both. He'll run it up the middle. Gets inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And it'll be 3rd down coming up for Iowa Valley. 3rd and about 4.
A little bit of a counter off of, he's got split backs as he's in the pistol. 1st down play, they went fake to one back, give it to the other, kind of a crossbuck action. This time he faked to both. Kriegel kept it, which would now make it a 3rd and 5 at the 15.
So 3rd down coming up for Iowa Valley, trying to keep this drive going. They've had a 4th down conversion. Now they face a 3rd and 5. Kriegel, Smith on his left hip, Hoyt on his right side. Kriegel will run it up the middle, and the hole closes up quickly. He might have got a yard or so. before Carter Obermeyer and Brody Weber and company in there to make the tackle. Now it's 4th and 4 coming up for Iowa Valley.
A great play by the nose tackle, just making a big pile and then letting everybody else kind of come in and finish off that power play. Again, 4th down. Can Audubon get off the field on defense on this big 4th down play at their own 15-yard line?
4th and 4, 4:50 to go in what's been a fast-moving first half. Iowa Valley looking over to the sideline. They're taking their time, almost like they're going to call a timeout and talk it over, and they will. So they're going to discuss it.
On the field, Iowa Valley.
Todd Jacobson, put your coaching cap on. 4th and 4. What are you drawing up here?
Well, they've already shown that they've got some trick plays in the playbook. On that big 4th down play and 10 or 11 earlier, they rolled to the right and threw a throwback pass to their tight end who fell down and then stood up and then ran to the left and caught it. If he wouldn't have fumbled, he was not going to get the first down. So expect something that would be try to do some eye candy as they run the play. And I don't think they can get it by just flat out running the football. But then again, do something that would maybe move the eyesight of those linebackers and secondary guys a little bit. And I'm saying that they're going to try to throw the ball on this one.
4th and 4 coming up for Iowa Valley. They scored on their first play of the game as Nolan Kriegel hit Lane Pesca for a 65-yard touchdown. And then since then, they've been turned away. They had a punt. They had an interception. Now they're trying to keep this drive going. 4th and 4 from the 14 for the Tigers. The Iowa Valley side in front of us on their feet.
This is a new formation.
Yeah, like a deep pistol of sorts. Kriegel's about 5 yards, and then he's got Dane Smith about 4 yards behind him. They will fake to Smith. Kriegel rolling right. Pass incomplete. Had 2 men on that side. The pass was kind of in between both of them. I think he wanted to go to Pesca near the goal line, but he underthrew it. Also, Jack Reed was in the area, and it's a stand for the Audubon defense.
Left defensive end, they have a 3-man front. Hayden Larson was unblocked, and they faked to the left, and he stayed at home because it was unblocked. And then when Kriegel rolled to his right, there he was, and he is by far the defensive MVP in this first half for the Wheelers. He has been everywhere.
So now Audubon with a 1st and 10 from their own 14. It's worth noting the Wheelers will get the football to start the second half. Kiergaard, run right side up to the 17, 18-yard line before being tackled near the sideline. And Kiergaard got rolled up on, and I don't know if maybe his cleat was tied up in the helmet or pad of Chance Hoyt, but they had to get that free. Both spry up, and they're ready for second down.
The MVP of the Iowa Valley Tigers defense has been number 4 linebacker Chance Hoyt, who just made that tackle. He has been everywhere for the Tigers in this first half.
2nd and 5 now for Audubon from the 19. 4.5 to go. Kiergaard wanting to run between the tackles. Hits the seam. First down and more. 40, 30, 20. Aiden Kiergaard putting on the Jets for a rushing touchdown. And the Wheelers go 61 yards for the score.
On the carry into the end zone for
his second of the night and his 32nd of the year, and the Wheelers grow their lead to 20-6.
They've ran outside on that same play so many times that Iowa Valley, you could see them really pursuing to the sideline, and Kiergaard, smart run. He puts his left foot in the ground, turns it up the field, and then just goes north and south, untouched for the touchdown.
So now they'll go for 2. Kiergaard with Carter Obermeyer in the backfield behind him. 4:23 to go in the half. Kiergaard takes the snap, running left side. Good job by Iowa Valley to stretch that play out, and I believe that was Mason Hoyt pushing him out of bounds. So the 2-point try unsuccessful, but Audubon scores again on a touchdown run from Aiden Kiergaard. 20-6 Wheelers. 4:23 to go in the half.
Our name says it all. We're Total Farm Solutions. This is Eric with TFS, and when it comes to your operation, we want to be your total partner in and out of the field. We're your Pioneer seed dealer, along with bulk options and seed treatments. And we study genetics, offering scouting and agronomic solutions. Taking care of our customer is part of our total service. We're Total Farm Solutions. Give us a call or find our office just outside of Carson.
Aiden Kiergaard goes 61 yards, and Audubon grows their lead to 20-6 with 4:23 to go here in the first half as Orm Voigt will kick it away for the Wheelers. Nolan Kriegel and Lane Pesca back to return.
The thing that's been established here in the first half is Audubon does, and they have scored from throwing the football, but they have really established the run where Iowa Valley has had to really grind out and scrape like for first downs.
This kick will carry him towards the sideline and goes out of bounds on the Audubon side near the 15-yard line.
Let's see if they make him re-kick here, or if they take it at the spot with the penalty, I should say. They're asking Coach Kroll what he wants to do.
I think they're going to say re-kick. So they're going to make him.
Nope, they're going to take it.
No, they're going to take it. I swear they were saying re-kick, but nope, they're going to take it. 4:23 to go here in the first half.
The one thing that has been very notable.
Yep, now as I say that, they are going to make him re-kick. So I wasn't just hearing things.
You know, one thing that is very apparent in this first half is that Iowa Valley has put the ball on the ground now 2 or 3 times, and quarterback Kriegel from Iowa Valley has been hit hard. Audubon they're flying to the ball, and they're bringing it to where, you know, he is really banged up right now just with the amount of times Nolan Kriegel, their junior quarterback, has just been hit by these Audubon Wheeler defenders. That's been very apparent here in this first half.
Yeah, I've got Iowa Valley 19 rushes for 74 yards so far tonight. And they have been hard-earned yards up to this point. So they're going to make him re-kick after the kickoff out of bounds. And just kind of a high fly ball kick is fielded by Iowa Valley and returned up to the 40-yard line.
By Reed.
It was Josh Reed that returned it. Now the Tigers going to have really good field position, Todd, as they'll take over at midfield.
Yeah, he did the same thing he did before, where he just kind of popped it up to that second line. And the guy, whoever it was there from Iowa Valley, I didn't catch a number, but he caught it like on the run and got it to midfield, which with a little over 4 minutes left in the half, Iowa Valley really does have a chance to maybe get a score here before halftime.
So 1st and 10 for Iowa Valley from midfield. Kriegel in the pistol. Chance Hoyt the back behind him. Kriegel back to pass. Quick pass is bobbled and incomplete. It was off the shoulder. And actually, that was Kriegel. I believe that was the receiver, and Lane Pesca was the quarterback. Kriegel has played a little bit of receiver at different times this year, has a couple touchdown catches, and they switched him that time. Pesca was the quarterback, Kriegel the receiver, and it was off the shoulder of Kriegel for an incomplete pass.
Good catch, Trevor.
Yeah.
That trying to catch him a little bit. Let's get the ball to our best athlete, except this time, let's put him out here ISO'd as a wide receiver, split end.
That stood out to me on my notes. I was preparing that Nolan Kriegel, we know what he's done rushing and throwing, but also a couple touchdown catches. 2nd and 10 now for Iowa Valley. Kriegel running up the middle, breaking out of a couple tackles up to the 32, 33-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and short coming up for Iowa Valley. Looks like they'll mark him at the 33. We've got an injured Tiger down. That is never a good sign. It's the medical.
And that was my guy I was saying. That's running back and linebacker Chance Hoyt.
So they will look at him, and while they do that, we'll step aside. 4:03 to go here in the first half. 20-6 in favor of Audubon here on the KMA Extreme, KMAland.com.
Nutrien Ag Solutions takes the responsibility of growing seriously. As a leader in the ag sector, they provide their customers with complete agriculture solutions, including nutrients, crop protection products, seed, service, and digital tools for optimum customer success. Talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Coyne, Percival, and Essex. Nutrien Ag Solutions, transforming agriculture and feeding the future.
Well, Chance Hoyt returns to his feet and goes to the sideline where he'll be looked at by the Iowa Valley medical staff. Hopefully all well with him. He's played a really good game on the defensive side so far. 3rd and 3 coming up for Iowa Valley. Under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. 20-6 advantage Audubon. See what the Tigers draw up on this 3rd down. Kriegel will have 3 to the right. Empty backfield for him. on this third down, and they will give it to Dane Smith, and he gets wrestled down for a 2-yard loss. Brody Weber makes the tackle. It's about the third or fourth time, Todd, they've gone to that counter, and it seems like Audubon's starting to kind of sniff it out.
And expect that they're going to come back and maybe fake that kind of a naked counter with the quarterback. But those two defensive ends, they have just done a terrific job for the Wheelers here in the first half.
This is an Audubon defense that has been salty all year. The most points they've given up was 30 to a playoff Coon Rapids Baird team, and what was still an 86-30 win for them. So now a 4th and 5 coming up for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 35. Kriegel will go under center. That's got to be the first time they did that tonight. And then as I say that, Coach Casey Kroll calls a timeout. Todd, what were you seeing there?
Well, I don't know if I've seen them get into the I formation with Kriegel under center yet. So that was going to be a new one. But the fullback, he was kind of confused. So that was a great timeout by the Tigers. Especially this is kind of a pretty big play. You don't get it. You're giving the ball to Audubon at their own 35-yard line with plenty of time left in the half for them to score.
And knowing that they get the football to start the second half as well.
Yeah. So this could be, I mean, there's always some big game-changing moments, during every game. And this one, if they can grind out and maybe get a chance to throw a couple into the end zone here before the half, that would benefit the Tigers. But if they can't get this first down, Audubon could finish the half with the ball in their hands and get the ball to start the second half. This game could get away from Iowa Valley quickly.
So 4th and 5 coming up for the Tigers at the Audubon 35-yard line. Again, Kriegel will go under center. They'll work out of an I. Chance Hoyt, the fullback. Dane Smith, the tailback. They will roll Kriegel left side. Pass was deflected. He wanted to go to Reed in the flat right near the stick. I think that was Weber or Christensen that got a hand on it, but either way, the Audubon defense stands tall.
Defensive end Brody Weber, number 42.
Yes, that was Weber, I believe, that got the hand on it.
He's 6'5", so he got his hands up as he was rolling to his left, and his receiver was open. That would have been a first down, but he simply just put his hands up, and I'm going to add him as my first half defensive MVP for the Wheelers as well.
So Audubon takes over 1st and 10 on their own 35, 2:45 to go in the half. Kiergaard wanting to run left side. Gets dropped for a 2-yard loss as the hole closed up quickly.
Brought down by Hoyt.
That was, I believe, Hoyt again making the tackle. And a loss of a couple will make it 2nd down for Audubon.
One thing defensively that you want to teach, especially if you've got a pretty good defensive set of players, is don't wait for blocks to happen. Get up the field, make those running backs turn back. That's exactly what Hoyt did right there. He came up the field, took on the block, and made the tackle.
2nd and 11 for the Wheelers. 2:10 to go in the half. They've got all 3 timeouts if they want them. Kiergaard running through the tackle, squirts free, 30, 25. Flag comes in as Kiergaard's inside the 15. Will go into bounds inside the 10, but it's likely coming back. The flag is on the 28-yard line. Kiergaard hit the middle and bounced it left side and had all kinds of room.
That block was, as he cut it back,
signaled against Audubon.
One of the Audubon players there out in the open, too. He had him around the left side of the shoulder pad. So when Kiergaard cut it back, the defensive player tried to pull away from him to go make the tackle and couldn't. So that was an easy call. But it also brings up the fact that he already had the first down, and with the penalty, that'll bring up, it looks like, Trevor, second and
short.
Yeah, 2nd and 2.
So they'll have it at the Iowa Valley 38 after the penalty was at the 28-yard line.
All 3 timeouts. Audubon will have all 3 of their timeouts.
So 2nd and short coming up for Audubon. Under 2 minutes to go in the half. The Wheelers trying to add to their lead here in Marengo. Kiergaard will hand it off. Mason Kasperbauer. Kasperbauer gets wrestled down for a loss. That was Pesca in there to make the tackle, along with Xavier Peterson, and now it's a 3rd down and 4 coming up for Audubon.
And both of those guys play in the secondary for the Tigers, so to fake that play and throw anything play action right now would be wide open. If Audubon decides to do it right here, it will be open, but now it's empty.
3rd and 4 from the 37. Kiergaard, oh! He put a man in motion. The snap was behind him, and Kiergaard will just have to fall on it back at the 21. And it's a big loss for Audubon and likely bringing the punting team on. They had put a man in motion with Kasterbauer, and the snap went back to Kiergaard. He was not ready for it. He does get back on it, but they lose a ton of yardage. And Iowa Valley's going to get the ball back.
Well, they ran 2 tight ends with 2 receivers off the line of scrimmage. The one on the right was the one that was going into motion, so Kiergaard was looking at him, and that's when the snap came. So Kiergaard was not aware that the ball was coming his way, just miscommunication between quarterback and center for that long loss right there. But smartly, Iowa Valley calls their last time out of the half, so they'll still have a chance to maybe get something, sneak a long pass play or a run play here in before the half.
So a promising Audubon drive stalls out. And now the Wheelers will punt it away. Hayden Larson doing the honors. Nolan Kriegel back to return for Iowa Valley. He stands on the 25-yard line.
Man, whatever you do not punt it to him.
Larson will be inside the 10 to punt it. 1:09 to go here in the first half. Sully McLean is the snapper on the punt, by the way. Good snap. Good end-over-end pump by Larson. Kriegel will back away from it.
That's perfect.
And it'll be downed by Larson by McLean at the 24-yard line. And now Iowa Valley will take over right at a minute to go in the first half. No timeouts. Todd Jacobson, if you're Coach Casey Kroll, how are you attacking this next 60 seconds?
I'll be honest. I'd run the same play that they scored on to start this game. That kind of caught Audubon, especially in the backside of their defense. Lack of communication amongst their secondary. So I'd think about running it and just see if you can catch him off guard. Oh, Kriegel's the wide receiver again right here.
Yeah, so Kriegel, the wide receiver on the left side. Lane Pesca will take the snap at quarterback. Kriegel's got about 10 yards of cushion as well, and they will run it with Pesca, and he gets wrestled down for a loss. Guess who? Brody Weber makes the tackle for a loss of 2. Iowa Valley does not have any timeouts, so they might be content just going into the half.
Loss on the play is going to bring up a 2nd and 13.
With this being where it is. Not showing a lot of urgency.
Well, you're almost tempted, though. I know you can't now at this point with as many seconds that have ran off the clock, but Audubon did have all 3 of their timeouts. And with that loss, it's 2nd and 13 now. You'd be almost tempted. But Kriegel is at wide receiver again here.
So Kriegel at wide receiver on the right side. Pesca.
Delay a game.
Was going to take the snap. They put a man in motion, but not before the play clock expires, and it's a delay a game penalty that'll back him up 5 more to the 16, and it's 2nd and 18. Coming up now for Iowa Valley.
When you're starting quarterback as a wide receiver, you always got to be on the lookout for the double pass because when you got a guy that's playing that far off, giving him that much cushion, if he backs up 5-6 yards, catches a pass, now he's back at quarterback.
So Kriegel will take the snap at quarterback. Smith on his right hip. Chance Hoyt on his left hip. They will just run Kriegel. Kriegel gets up to the 21-yard line before taking a lick. And that will likely be how the half ends. Iowa Valley does not have any timeouts. They will let the clock run, and we are complacent to going into the break with Audubon leading 20-6. So Iowa Valley scored on their first play, but the Wheelers have totaled the next 20, and they take a 14-point halftime lead into the break here in Marengo. We'll be back. Halftime coverage in a moment. KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
No one succeeds alone. It takes support to get there, sacrifices made by others, wisdom learned and passed. Your business, agriculture, all of us thrive. It's why at PCSB, we believe in supporting you. Your success makes our community succeed. PCSB, we believe in you. Visit us online at wearepcsb.com. Member FDIC.
Hey, we're live on the...
Northwest Missouri State University, you can follow your interests and discover new ones, no matter how different they may be. Explore over 200 programs and over 150 student organizations. At Northwest, you can be a scholar, an artist, an athlete, and a leader, all at the same time. Why be just one thing when you can be every you? Learn more at start.nwmissouri.edu.
At the break here in Marengo, Trevor Mater, Todd Jacobson with you. Class 8 player state quarterfinal. Audubon leading Iowa Valley 20-6. And Todd, Iowa Valley scores on their first play of the game. I think maybe we're going to get a track meet because Audubon counters pretty quickly. Since then, this game has kind of slowed down a little bit, and things go in the Wheelers' way. They've scored the last 20.
Absolutely, and that first play of the game, both teams really in that first quarter, both defenses really trying to feel each other out, feel the offense out. Both offenses had some early advantages, but then both defenses was able to kind of settle in. But the Wheelers were the ones where, especially with quarterback Kiergaard getting those big long runs, they were both, Audubon run game was the one that really is the difference in this first half.
So this is one of 4 state quarterfinals going on across the state. 9-8 player also on Cam 960 tonight. We've got Dusty Scahill, Tom Moore in Woodbine. Woodbine is up 22-0, make it 24-0 on Fremont Mills. Meanwhile, Gladbrook Rhinebeck is up 27-12 on Edgewood Colesburg, and Garrigan is up 20-14 on Don Bosco. All winners tonight will move on to the semifinals next Wednesday in Cedar Falls. 20-6 advantage Audubon. We're going to step aside, play some interviews with a couple of coaches getting ready for quarterfinals tomorrow. Those would be Underwood's Nate McKelson and trainers Jeff Casey. When we come back, we'll have the second half, this 8-player state quarterfinal. KMA Extreme, KMAland.com.
McKelson, head football coach at Underwood. His team is into the quarterfinals in the Class 1A playoffs, and they'll take on West Lyon on Friday night, a game you can hear on KMA 960 with myself and Tom Moore. Coach, first let's go back to the second-round win over West Marshall. Just what were your overall takeaways on how you guys were able to play in that one?
Really happy with the win. Really happy with the start. I think we got out to a 22-0 lead in there in the first quarter, and I thought that kind of set the tone of the game. Didn't played all right in the second quarter, but kind of a couple drives stalled out for we had penalties and a couple drops in there. And weren't probably as great on defense stopping the run in the second quarter. But then regrouped at halftime, got a couple scores in the third quarter, got some stops, one especially in their red zone. It was a big stop right at a half, and, kind of just salted it away there in the second half. But, playing football is a really good win. Obviously, going on the road, going 2.5 hours away. I was super happy with the start, and that kind of gave us the cushion we needed to get the win Friday.
Yeah, you guys are into the quarterfinals now for the 6th year in a row. How do you maybe explain it, or what do you attribute it to that you guys have not only been able to get to the postseason, but you've been able to win games when you're getting there?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think you got to attribute that to the really tremendous players that we've had over the course of those 6 years. Obviously each group, brings a little bit of something new, to the program, and it's always, the job of the coaching staff to kind of, figure out what worked for each group, but the players are a big part in that, and I think the second part is just the coaching staff. We got a great group of coaches that put in a lot of work, that are very experienced. They coached in a lot of playoff games. So I think a combination of those things. I think we put a premium on trying to play our very best football at the end of the year. I think, case in point, the last 2 years, I think we haven't had maybe the greatest success in the regular season, but when it comes down to the postseason, I think we're playing our best football and getting the maximum out of what we can. So, we talked to, it's something we don't take lightly. We talked to the kids a little bit about it on Friday night after the win, and just kind of told them, this is now the 3rd straight graduating class from Underwood that's never knocked on to the quarterfinals. That's been the quarterfinals all 4 years of their high school career. So, that's something we're not going to take for granted. We do think it's a big accomplishment, and, the kids and their talent and their hard work spearhead all that.
Yeah. Well, you're into the quarterfinals again this year, and you get West Lyon, and you talk about perennial programs in Iowa. They're up there at the top. What have you seen from the Wildcats on film and your early breakdowns and the challenges they're going to present on Friday night?
Well, on film, they're as impressive of a football team as maybe that I've seen on film in terms of playing in 12 years that I've coached. I mean, they're just so big and physical up front, and then they such a stable of running backs, receivers that they can make plays. I think they can hurt you in a variety of ways. I think if they wanted to get in their heavy package and just run down the field, they have the ability to do that. If they want to spread it out and get it to their playmakers in space, they have the ability to do that. So they're very, dangerous in all facets of their offense. And then their defense is really aggressive, allowing very few points. I don't actually think anybody scored on them twice this year, and it would be very interesting to watch film and see how many of those scores that they actually give up were against the starters, because they've been so comfortably ahead in most games. So obviously a super stout, tough team, to say the least. We're going to have to, be at the very, very top of our game, to go and compete there. But, I like the way we've been playing, and we're gonna go up there and give it our best shot, no doubt about that.
You mentioned their defense, and you're right. Nobody scored more than once on them this season in a game. But you guys have a potent offense of your own. How do you try to attack their defense? How you try to move the ball down the field and put some points on the board?
Well, when you watch the defense, you just don't find, as their whole team, you just don't find many weaknesses, if there's a weakness at all. I think, I like our offense. I like the multi-dimension, attack that we're able to do. We've been able to run the ball really successfully lately, and obviously Garrett in the passing game is very efficient. So I do think that we probably, they'll be seeing some things for the first time that maybe they haven't seen from an offensive team this year. I think, they'll be ready. They'll obviously have a great game plan, in place. But we might just give them some things, maybe, some obviously different receiver sets, different formations, be able to spread it out maybe more so than some other teams have. But, we'll put our best offensive game plan together, and we know we're going to have to score points to win the game, and probably have to score quite a few. So, we'll plan together and try to put some points on the board.
What about on the other side of the ball? You talked about their offense, and they've got one of the top rushing attacks in Class 1A. What's it take from your defense to try to get in the right spots and slow this offense down?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you do your very, very best to limit them in the run game. You're not going to stop them in the run game. You got to limit them in the run game as best you can. Try to make some tackles for loss and maybe put them, in second and third and longer distances. I think that's your best bet. That's easier said than done. So I think your best running back, you're the other guy with the best stats here is averaging almost 10 yards a carry. So, we'll put a plan together, and obviously we'll put an emphasis on trying to stop the run. And I think they have the ability to pass the ball really well. I think their kid has thrown double-digit touchdowns and only one interception. But I think they would rather keep it on the ground if they had the choice. So we'll try to do our best to stop the run and put them in those long second, third down situations, and see if our secondary can make some plays and get us off the field.
Nate McKelson, head football coach at Underwood. Coach, appreciate the time as always, and best of luck to you and your team on Friday night.
All right, thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it, man.
Trainer football going to play in a state quarterfinal. They'll go to South Hardin on Friday night. I'll have the call alongside Keith Christensen on KMA FM 99.1. Looking forward to that. Talking now with trainer head coach Jeff Casey. Coach, one of the final 8 left in your class. I think it's been 6 years since trainer's been able to do that. I guess just first off, speak to that accomplishment. Obviously, it's not something that's easy to do.
Yeah, you're right. It's not easy to do. 2019 was the last time we got to the quarterfinals. We were knocking on the door last year. We were right there, just a few seconds away from it last year. And so it feels good to get back to the quarterfinals and have this experience for the kids and the community, and excited for the week ahead here.
Get there with a win over Hinton on Friday night. I know you scored on the first play, and then you were up big early. Speak to what you saw from the guys on Friday night that made this happen.
I thought we played perhaps our most physical game of the season, and probably in a really long time, to be honest with you. It was something that I emphasized with the kids and really challenged them that we had to up our physicality. I knew that Hinton was going to be super physical as well. And at this point in the season, you can't let teams out physical you because you're going to get beaten if that happens. And so our kids accepted that challenge, and we give a lot of credit to Hinton. That's a really good football team. They had some really tough kids. They're very well coached, and they gave us a big challenge on Friday. But kids rose to the occasion and stepped up and played hard.
Yeah, and fast start. I know that's kind of been something you guys have been able to do a lot this year, scoring on the first possession, sometimes even on the first play, like you did Friday night. When you can do that, how huge is that?
Oh, it makes a huge difference. We scored so quickly on Friday night that our film wasn't even turned on, so we don't even have the video of it, to be honest with you, because it happened that fast. And so, I've been through situations where you struggle in the beginning of the game, and you don't score on the first, maybe even first 2 or 3 possessions, and it's just so hard to get things going, and then you get behind, and then you're playing catch up. So we spent a lot of time on the beginning of the game during practice and how we rep that stuff and putting game plans together. So we don't like playing from behind. We want people chasing us. Kind of been the thought process all year is to get up quick and keep the foot on the gas pedal.
Now, looking to Friday night, a really good South Arden team. You guys have to make the long bus ride to the eastern side of the state for this matchup. I mean, what do you guys know about them as you prepare?
Well, they're a very, very talented football team. Obviously, I think you mentioned it. You get to the quarterfinals, everybody's really good. They were in the quarterfinals last year as well, so they put together 2 really, really good seasons in a row. Only 3 losses in the last 2 years. 2 of those to Grundy Center, and the other one to Dyke New Hartford last year in the quarter. So this is a super talented football team. They've got some incredible skill players, some really talented receivers. Their quarterback does some really, really impressive things on film. Strong run game, and then their defense is legit. They fly around, they hit you, they play physical. The back end is really good defending the pass game. So they've put together a really nice squad, a really nice couple seasons.
Yeah, looking at their defense, I mean, the most points they've given up all year was 21 to Grundy Center. They're coming off of a shutout. What will you guys have to do offensively to have success against their defense?
One thing that we've emphasized this year is just our depth and skill set across the board. We've got so many kids that we can get involved in, and week to week it's kind of different who we feature and then how we feature them. And so we'll look for ways over the next few days as we continue scouting and game planning to find some of those advantages that we think we might have and try to get those kids the ball. We like to create space, get some of our athletic fast kids out there one-on-one situations and just let them do their thing. So we'll keep studying. Been studying all weekend, obviously, and keep looking for spots where we can push the ball downfield.
And then looking at their offense, seems kind of similar to your guys' in that they're very balanced. They've got a 1,000-yard rusher, they got a 1,000-yard receiver as well. But your guys' defense has played really good all year. What will be the things that will be important defensively?
Yeah, so you made a good comparison because they are very similar to us, and we noticed that earlier in the season as we started kind of watching some of these top teams around the state. They reminded us of our team a little bit. So, again, similar to the offensive side of the ball, we've got a lot of talent that we have, at all 3 levels of defense. I like how we rotate our kids and try to keep kids fresh. And so our defensive staff always does such a great job of scouting and putting a game plan together and then putting our kids in situations during the week in practice to rep those things. Kids always do a great job of watching film and really learning and being open to that process of figuring out, hey, what are some keys that we can look for, some alignment tendencies, just general things that we try to teach the kids. They've done a great job of absorbing all that this year. So we'll continue to do that. Hey, we want to fly the football. We want to gang tackle. We want to force turnovers like we have. So the game plan from a very basic level will remain the same.
And lastly, Coach, one win away from being able to get to the Dome for the first time in a while, and that's everybody's goal when the season starts. I know you have to take care of business for this to happen, but for that to happen, what would it mean?
Oh, gosh, it would mean a lot. These kids were not alive the last time we played in Cedar Falls, and I would venture to guess that quite a few community members probably weren't in the community when that happened either. I was on staff when we went and won the championship back in 2003. It's a pretty special feeling, but one thing we've done a good job of all season is not looking ahead to next week or an opponent down the road. We've truly taken it day by day. And so it's, hey, on Monday, what are the 1 or 2 things we have to accomplish on Monday? And that's all we're focused on. And we don't move forward until we get that done. And then we come back on Tuesday, hey, what are the 1 or 2 things that we need to do today so that we can be prepped and ready for Friday? And we don't move on until we take care of it. And so that'll be the game plan again this week. We'll approach practices the way we have all season, and we just got to go do our thing.
Looking forward to it. Trainer head coach Jeff Casey as his team gets ready for a state quarterfinal. Coach, appreciate the time and wish you the best of luck there on Friday.
Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it.
About ready to begin the second half here in Marengo. Trevor Mater, Todd Jacobson with you here tonight. 8-player state quarterfinal football. 20-6 advantage Audubon as we start the second half. And the Wheelers will get the football to start this frame. Mason Hoyt will kick it away for the Tigers. And Audubon a chance to grow their lead on the first possession of this frame. Mason Hoyt will tow it away. Iowa Valley scored on their first play of the game. Since then, it's been a 20-0 Audubon spurt. See if Hoyt actually kicks it deep here. And they will kick it deep.
Going to have a chance to return it.
Yeah, fielded at the 2. That was Paxton Bean. Stumbled a little bit, still on his feet, up to the 18-yard line, and that'll be where Audubon begins their next drive. Todd Jacobson, it's worth noting, did have a light mist during halftime. Nothing significant, at least from our vantage point, but the field may be a little slick. Also, temperatures getting a little bit cooler.
Yeah, we'll see if it, does affect either team. I'm sure, they were both prepared for. I don't think it really did enough to affect the field, but I guess we're going to find out. This first drive for the Iowa Valley defense is huge.
So Audubon will start this drive on their own 18. They'll run it Kasperbauer, left side. Kasperbauer could not get downfield like he wanted. Got maybe a yard out of that. Yards have been hard to come by with the exception of a couple of big plays. And actually no gain for Kasperbauer as Lane Pesca makes the tackle.
And that's been the real difference is, Audubon has been really patient with their runs, and the times when Iowa Valley has contained them, they continue to just keep harping on the run, and then they hit one of those cutbacks.
2nd and 10 for Audubon. Kiergaard wanting to run, and he gets gobbled up, no gain. Might have actually lost a yard or so. The hole closed quickly. It'll be a loss of a couple, and I believe it was Airy in there on the tackle for Iowa Valley. So, yeah, that was Owen Airy making the tackle, and it's now a 3rd and 13.
You can kind of see that Iowa Valley is one of the adjustments they've made at halftime is they're not going to sit back and wait for the run game to get to them. They're bringing linebackers. As soon as they sense run, they've now bring 4 or 5 linebackers. In fact, they really don't even have a safety. They got everybody at the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 13.
Kiergaard wide open.
Has a man wide open, Austin Christensen. Nobody within 20 yards. He could walk if he wants, but he'll run into the end zone. Touchdown, Wheelers.
What a play call. You could really sense that Iowa Valley's defense now, they've seen only 2 passes from the Wheelers in the first half. And at 3rd and long, you can kind of see that all 8 players from the Iowa Valley Tigers were at least 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. They were dead set on stopping the run, and then they just snuck a tight end straight down the middle of the field, and he was untouched.
Audubon's had 2 big play touchdown passes on 4th and long and 3rd and long tonight, and the Wheelers score on their 3rd play of the half to take a 26-6 lead, and now they will go for 2. Kiergaard with Kasperbauer in the backfield with him. Kiergaard taking the snap, rolling left, wanting to throw, floats it to Brody Weber. Jump ball, couldn't come down with it. Josh Reed was defending that. And the 2-point try unsuccessful, but Audubon strikes early here in the frame. 26-6 they lead here on the KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
Pharmacy is dedicated to providing you and your family quality medications, medical equipment, outstanding service, and individualized customer care. Rogers Pharmacy has a large selection of durable medical products, from walkers, hospital beds, electric scooters, crutches and braces, to lift chairs, diabetic supplies, and everything related to respiratory conditions. And they offer delivery of your medical equipment in a 50-mile radius of their Missouri locations, including service to parts of Iowa and Nebraska. Rogers Pharmacy, your full-service pharmacy in Tarkio, Maryville, Mound City, St. Joe, and Stanberry.
A 65-yard touchdown pass from Aiden Kiergaard to Austin Christensen, and Audubon leads 26-6 with 10:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter. So now Orm Voigt will kick it away. Nolan Kriegel and Lane Pesca back to return for Iowa Valley. The Tigers will get ready for their first possession of the second half. Voigt, who by the way is a left-footed kicker, kicks that one inside the 10. It'll be fielded at the 8-yard line by Pesca up to the 26, and that'll be where Iowa Valley goes to work now. And Todd Jacobson, a monster drive for the Tigers. Down 3 scores. They need an answer to stay afloat.
Absolutely. This is probably the, we said about Audubon, if they were up 20-6, getting the ball to start the half, if they scored, it would be a very dangerous situation for Iowa Valley, and that's exactly where they're at right now. They need a drive that will put points on the board right now.
1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 26-yard line. Kriegel taking the snap, bouncing it left side, broke out of 1 tackle in the backfield, fighting for extra yardage, spins to the 29. Brody Weber got to him initially, fought off that tackle, and then Hayden Larson eventually brings him down, but a gain of 3, maybe 4 for Kriegel will make it 2nd and 6.
Weber and Larson, those 2 defensive ends, I've kind of probably talked about it way too many times, but they have just established the edges, and it's almost impossible to try to run outside them or try to throw outside them right now. And those linebackers, Casper Bauer and the bunch, are bringing the hard hats behind them. It's making it really hard for Iowa Valley to establish a run game.
2nd and 6 from the 30. Kriegel, the running back, on his left hip, wanting to run right side, bounces forward to about the 33, 34-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short coming up. Austin Christensen making the tackle. 3rd and a long, too, coming up for this Iowa Valley offense.
I am a little surprised that they've really tried to stay with this run game, knowing that they scored on the very first play of the game by throwing the football. Kriegel comes in throwing. He's got 720 yards, 12 touchdowns, no interceptions on the season. Let's see if they try to catch him off the guard here by throwing it.
On 3rd and 2. Kriegel, he'll just run it up the middle, gets the first down to the 38-yard line, and a gain of 4 will move the chains. Iowa Valley's just not been able to finish. They've not been able to sustain drives or finish drives, so to speak, Todd.
Yeah, and, when you look at Audubon, they're getting good chunks of yards, except for that last drive where they did throw it for that long touchdown. But, Iowa Valley, which has probably been used to getting 10, 20, and huge chunk of yards in the ground game. Right now, Audubon's defense is only giving them short gains.
So 1st and 10 now for Iowa Valley from near midfield on their own 38-yard line. Kriegel will run it up the middle, hits the first down marker, and gets a couple more into Audubon territory at the 29-yard line.
Pretty good vision from quarterback Kriegel as he ran to the left. The backside of the defense, there was nobody there, so he's able to kind of escape out of that power run to the left, then bounces it to the right for that big gain for the Tigers.
Gain of 14 to the Audubon 28-yard line, 8:15 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Iowa Valley needing an answer in a dire way as they're down 3 scores early in the 3rd. Kriegel will have Chance Hoyt on his right hip, Dane Smith on his left out of a shotgun. Everybody tight on the line of scrimmage. Option play. Kriegel pitches Hoyt, and he gets tackled for a loss. Jorgen Nowatzki there to make the tackle. And that option play did not fool this Audubon defense.
I'm a little confused why they would want to run that one. They ran unbalanced. Every single, including they had quarterback Kriegel had 1 running back to the left, 1 running back to the right. He only had 1 lineman, and that was a smaller tight end to the left of the center. And they ran an option to the short side of the field and to their weaker side. And Audubon had 3 guys unblocked coming up the field.
2nd and 13 now for Iowa Valley from the 30-yard line. Kriegel out of a shotgun. Running back on each side. He will hand it off Hoyt. Hoyt fighting to the 26 and continuing to fight. They'll mark him down to the 25 as he gets brought down. They get back what they lost and then a little bit more, and it's 3rd and 8 coming up for Iowa Valley.
He's a tough runner. He's not very big, but he's a tough runner. He was trying to gain as many yards off of that, just kind of a flow play where the quarterback, he's right of the quarterback. He's taking the handoff. Quarterback then fakes it out of there and run it to the left. The last 3 yards he gained on his own.
3rd and 7 from the 25 for Iowa Valley. Kriegel, running back on each side. He will keep it. Kriegel trying to follow his block, still on his feet, up inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Does a really good job of getting the shoulder pads low and following his line. will make it a 4th and short, as he got just inside the 20 and called a 4th and 2 coming up for Iowa Valley.
Big play for the Tigers at 4th and 2. They can't afford to come away from this drive with no points. Let's see what Coach Kroll and the Iowa Valley Tigers come up with here.
So 4th and 2 from the Audubon 20-yard line. Kriegel, left side, the strong side. He's the only guy back there. He will run it. Does a good job lowering the shoulders. Austin Christensen was there to meet him at the point of attack. I think he just got enough. That was an effort run by Nolan Kriegel. That looked like that was going to be blown up in the backfield.
And Christensen was unblocked, came through the line of scrimmage. That tells you how big and tough this quarterback is. 6'5" or 6'3", 180 pounds. He took on, he put his head down, ran him over, because that was going to be a loss of yards, turnover on downs, and instead Krieger from Iowa Valley runs him over for the first down.
1st and 10 for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 17-yard line. 5:15 to go in the third quarter. Fast-moving frame. Kriegel, empty backfield, rolling right, and Christensen got through his block and drops him for a loss.
Wasn't going to miss him that time. Coming through as a linebacker, Christensen blitzing through. Kept his inside-out leverage, then brought down the quarterback on a power sweep to the right. Brought him down from behind for the loss of down.
Austin Christensen having a really good night on both sides of the ball. I know he was injured for them down the stretch of the postseason a year ago. Making up for lost time tonight. Couple touchdown catches and a tackle for loss there. 2nd and 14 for Iowa Valley from the Audubon 20-yard line. 4.5 to go in the third. 26-6. Advantage Wheelers.
At some point, they're going to have to throw the football.
Kriegel will give
double
it to
reverse.
Hoyt, and then they actually end up giving it on a double reverse and getting back to the line of scrimmage, and then not really anything else was Lane Pesca. And it's a 3rd and 14 coming up for
this Audubon defense is so good. Something like that play takes way too long to develop. And you had linemen, you also had linebackers waiting. I get the intent. You're trying to get an aggressive defense to over-pursue, but the Wheelers play a very disciplined style of defense.
3rd and 14 from the 20 for Iowa Valley. 3:40 to go here in the third. Kriegel with Mason Hoyt on his right hip. Kriegel will run it right side, gets to the outside, has the angle, lunges for the goal line, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Iowa Valley. 42nd rushing touchdown of the year for Nolan Kriegel, and just what the doctor ordered for the Tigers to get this down to a 2-score game.
That's on 3rd and long that time, and he just faked to his running back, kept it, and he did not hesitate. As soon as he saw daylight, he hit the hole, got to the sideline where it was just him and an Audubon defender, and then he was his 6'3" frame. He reached out for that pylon and got it.
I feel like about every score we've seen tonight has came on 3rd or 4th and long. So now Iowa Valley will go for 2. Busy backfield. Kriegel has Chance Hoyt behind him. Dane Smith on his right hip. They will pitch it to Hoyt, lowers the shoulder, but falls out of bounds, and the 2-point try unsuccessful. So a big answer for Iowa Valley, and it's 26-12 with 3:30 left here in the third quarter. KMA Extreme, KMALand.com.
Ready to grow your future with a bank that truly cares? Welcome to Malvern Bank, where we're more than just a bank. We're your neighbors, your friends, and your partners in success. At Malvern Bank, we specialize in ag loans that help our local farmers thrive. Whether you're planting seeds for the future or expanding your current operations, we've got the financing solutions to help your farm flourish. So why wait? Visit us today and see how Malvern Bank can make a difference in your life. Together, let's grow our future. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
A Nolan Kriegel rushing touchdown gives a little life to Iowa Valley, pulls them within 2 scores at 26-12. And Todd Jacobson, that was a drive that the Tigers very much needed.
Yeah, we said it when they started. It was imperative. Now, I would watch out for maybe an onside here, which then they kick it long.
And that'll go into the end zone for a touchback, and now Audubon will start this next drive on their own 15-yard line. 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. Winner moves on to a state semifinal in Cedar Falls next Wednesday. Audubon looking to get there for the first time since 2021. Iowa Valley hoping to go for the first time since 2002. So Wheelers will take over on their own 15-yard line. Kiergaard running back on his right hip. And they will keep it Kiergaard. Kiergaard up past the 20 to the 21-yard line. And a gain of 6 on first down. And Todd, I know there's still a lot of time left, but if you're Audubon, how much of this is you just want to put together a really, really long drive?
Yeah, just do what you do, and that is keep the ball on the ground, keep using your size up front. They have a considerable size advantage up front, and they're physical. Just keep the ball between the tackles just like that. Kiergaard keeping the ball. Follow your blockers. Get 7 yards.
2nd and 4 from the 22 now. They will run it Kasperbauer, and that went nowhere. Might have actually lost about a yard. Mason Hoyt in there to make the tackle, along with Elijah Lilly, and it's a loss of 1. We'll make it 3rd and 5.
Tiger defense really fast. I said how big Audubon was up front, but they just really haven't seen much success really trying to get outside on Iowa Valley. Now, attacking them between the tackles, they have seen a lot of success there, but that's a great example of it right there.
3rd and 5 from the 20. Put a man out. Kiergaard, a little pitch over the middle. Christensen, but the play was blown down. I think there was a false start, and there was. They were going like the tight end shovel that has become so popular over the last handful of years, and I think it was about to pop, but there was a false start before that that'll back him up 5 yards.
If I remember right, I think that's only the 2nd or 3rd, not including the kickoff out of bounds. That's, I think, maybe just the 2nd.
It's been a relatively clean game. 3rd and 10. There was one hold that wiped out a long run. I don't know that Iowa Valley's had a penalty tonight. 3rd and 10 from the 15. Minute 50 to go here in the third quarter. Kiergaard back to pass. Right side going to Jorgen Nowatzki. Incomplete. I think he was going to be out of bounds if he caught it. Good coverage by Josh Reed. And the Iowa Valley defense, when they needed a stop, bows its neck, and they're going to get the football back here late in the third quarter.
Just what the doctor ordered for the home team is that's a 3 and out. The penalty did help because it was going to be 3rd and 5, but.
So now a 4th down coming up for Audubon, and they will punt it away with Hayden Larson. Nolan Kriegel, always dangerous back to return. So Larson will punt it away. Good snap. Good pump by Larson. It's over the head of Kriegel. He'll fail. He might have touched it. And now there's a scramble for it. He knocks it out of bounds to 28. He had to back up to it, and then it ricocheted off of him. Luckily for him, it goes out of bounds, and Iowa Valley will take over the 28. We do have a flag back at the 8-yard line. The Iowa Valley side.
This could be anything. Even though they're talking to the Iowa Valley coach, make him punt again.
That's kind of what it looks like. I think it was a hold. It was a hold on Audubon. So they're going to make him punt it again. On what will be a 4th and 20 for the Wheelers from. Oh, the ball's going to be at the
5-yard
line. So Larson's going to punt this from the end zone. Actually, be the 8-yard line because it's a half the distance penalty, but nonetheless, Larson's going to be a couple yards in the end zone when he punts this. So Kriegel back to return, standing near midfield. Larson gets the punt away. Another nice punt toward the Iowa Valley sideline. Kriegel will stay away from it and will bounce out of bounds at the 33-yard line with 1:26 to go. And Todd Jacobson, life for the Tigers. They've got the ball
Iowa Valley will start first.
And not bad field position by any means. And if you go down the field and you score here, all of a sudden maybe the momentum shifts.
It switches. You can kind of feel a sense that the momentum has shifted to the Tigers here after that drive, and then getting a 3-and-out on defense, and then now having really positive field position. If they can find a way to get a drive here, it puts a lot of pressure on the Wheelers.
So Iowa Valley will start this drive on their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Kriegel with running back on each side. They will run it left side. Kriegel up near midfield. They're going to say right at the 40.
Forced out of bounds by Christensen.
So a gain of 6. Actually, they're going to give him another yard or so. Gain of 7.
Brings up a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, Christensen.
Now they're going to spot it back to 39. They originally gave him a really generous spot.
Christensen coming in from his linebacker spot, coming inside out, was able to get him because if he doesn't come right where he was at right there, he pretty much they had the edge blocked. He was going to score on the first play of this drive.
2nd and 5 now for Iowa Valley, under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Kriegel running back on each side. He will run it up the middle. Has the first down yardage, I think just barely, to the Audubon 36-yard line.
On the carry brought down by Obermeyer.
Carter Obermeyer makes the tackle. And it's a fresh set of downs for the Tigers with 34 seconds to go here in the quarter. Likely the final play of the frame coming up here in Marengo. 1st and 10 from the 34. Kriegel running left side, gets along the sideline, stays in bounds. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Iowa Valley, and game on as Nolan Kriegel hits pay dirt.
The carry into the end zone for a Tiger touchdown.
Just a power play. He bounces outside. I was kind of watching at the point of the attack, and Iowa Valley's doing a terrific job of staying on their blocks, just letting their playmaker get to the edge, find some daylight, and right now he's the workhorse, and he is brought this team back into this ball game.
So they'll go for the PAT. Mason Hoyt will kick it. They have kicked PATs at different times this year. And Hoyt puts that one up and through. So Iowa Valley with 13 in a row has got this down to a one-score game with 22 seconds left here in the third in the Campbell Extreme.
This is Sid with Shaw Ag near Trainer. I'm learning all of the ins and outs of agronomy with my dad, Shane. I've learned that Pioneer seed is second to none and that they back that up with proven products and yields. I've also learned that if our customers have a question or a concern, we'll work until we figure out the answer or solution. I'm learning all of this because at Shaw Ag, we've made a commitment, and that commitment is our family.
Welcome back to Marengo Campbell Extreme, online CamAland.com. After the return, Audubon's got the football at their own 27-yard line. Here's Aiden Kiergaard on first down, running for a couple of yards to the 30, and what will likely be the final play of the quarter. So we'll go to the fourth with a 26-19 Audubon lead. Iowa Valley has scored the last 13, and Todd Jacobson will keep it here. A little bit of life for the Tigers as we go to the final frame.
And it's really just been a simple game of who can stop the run or who can get the run game going. And it was in the first half, it was Audubon. Their one score in the second half, they were actually stuffed on first down and second down and caught Iowa Valley snoozing and threw a long touchdown pass, but they have not gotten their run game going here in the second half. Quarterback Kiergaard has been really contained. On the other side, Iowa Valley, Nolan Kriegel, their quarterback, they're staying on blocks, and they are absolutely establishing the run game, which has changed the momentum and switched. All the momentum in this game is now on the home side because they have got that run game going.
And Todd, this is a big drive that Audubon is on right now. Might be one of the understatements of the year.
Yeah, when they were down, 20-6 and then 26-6, you could kind of sense over here on this Iowa Valley side that the crowd wasn't quite in the game, and then that drive, 3 and out, and then they score again. Man, everything has changed.
2nd down and 8 from the 29 coming up for Audubon as we start the 4th quarter. Wheelers holding on to a 7-point lead with a trip to the dome in the balance. Kiergaard wanting to run left side up past the 30 to the 33-yard line. A gain of a couple will make it 3rd and short. 3rd and about 4 coming up for Audubon.
Another, I guess, a good point is, Iowa Valley has been in a couple games where they've, they've been in a couple close games, I guess what you'd say. Audubon has not. And right now in crunch time with 3rd and 5, they're on their own 33. Can they get a drive together? Can they get a first down right here?
3rd and 5 for the Wheelers. Up by 7 here early in the 4th quarter. Kiergaard running right side and will not get anything. He's got it out of bounds on the far side, and Audubon's going to have to punt it away. Xavier Peterson was there to make the tackle.
Loss on the play. He's going to bring up a 4th and 6.
And a stand by the Iowa Valley defense. He's going to give them the ball back with a chance to tie it or take the lead.
And you're putting the ball to Nolan Kriegel, who has scored 3 times in this game already.
So Hayden Larson will punt it away, and Iowa Valley brought a little pressure on that punt. Kriegel will field it at the 15. Kriegel breaks out of an ankle tackle, the 20, up to the 25, out of bounds to the 30-yard line. And now an Iowa Valley team that's got all the momentum has the football with a chance to take the lead early in the 4th quarter.
The Audubon defense was doing a great job of pursuing and getting off blocks and attacking. And right now, they're getting kind of pushed around right now, and you can kind of sense that the kind of mojo that they were playing with in the first half, they don't have it right now. They're going to have to get it back, and this drive is probably going to be a big decider on whether Audubon has a chance to win it or if Iowa Valley is going to grab this game and take it over.
1st and 10 from the 30, just a smidge over 11 minutes ago. Kriegel running up the middle and gets brought down after a run of about 4. Tried to spin out of a tackle. Austin Christensen and Aiden Kiergaard there to make the stop, but a gain of 4 for Nolan Kriegel on 1st down will make it 2nd and 6.
Now they're at the point of attack. They're really pushing Audubon around, and when you're getting 4 and 5 yards and even a little more per pop, that really wears on the defense. Right now, they've got all the momentum.
2nd and 6. Kriegel running back on his right hip. He will run it up the middle and got tripped up. Might have tripped over his own lineman, I believe, or own blocker. Does get about a yard or 2 out of that to the 36.
That's
3rd down.
That's the main thing that Audubon needs to do is start really blowing up the point of attack, because he's got daylight. He's getting to Kriegel's getting to the line of scrimmage and is able to kind of see, am I going to stay with this block? Am I going to cut it back? And that was a great play where they just kind of made a big pile right at the point.
3rd and 3 from the 37. Kriegel running back on each side out of the shotgun. Under 10 to go here in Marengo. Kriegel running forward. Got about a yard or 2, but he's well shy of the 1st down. Just ran right up the middle. Audubon sniffed that out. Brody Weber making the tackle. And now it's a 4th and 2 coming up for Iowa Valley.
There's some hitting going on. Man, there's some serious hitting going on. They brought some linebackers and took on those blocks. And this is a huge play.
Yes.
We've had several, but this one at midfield is a huge play for 4th down.
PA guy says 4th and 1. I say 4th and 2. Either way, it's 4th and short for Iowa Valley. 2 men in the backfield on the left side. Kriegel will run and it's blown up. Austin Christensen says hello as he drops him for the loss. Austin Christensen came through like a heat-seeking missile and drops Nolan Kriegel for a 3-yard loss on 4th and short.
Like he was shot out of a cannon, middle linebacker. They have not been fooled. They knew it was going to be a run. He comes through and brings him down behind the line of scrimmage. Huge play for the Wheelers.
So now the Wheelers will take over on the Iowa Valley 36-yard line after the defensive stand. Up by a score. Kiergaard wanting to throw to Christensen, just overthrew him. Xavier Peterson was in coverage.
Same play they scored on third down. Kiergaard starts rolling to the right. It looks like it's a quarterback power run. And tight end Christensen kind of fakes like he's going to block and then takes off down the field. I'm sure that kid's probably gassed after making that stop on defense and then has to run 50 or 40 yards to try to catch that pass.
Iowa Valley scored 13 in a row, had the ball, the chance to tie it or take the lead. They came up short on 4th and short. Now Audubon trying to capitalize. 9:01 to go here in regulation. Kiergaard, 2 to the right. He'll put Casper Bauer in motion right to left. Kiergaard wanting to run left side. First down and more. And guides himself out of bounds at the 27-yard line. A couple yards shy of the first down, it looks like, but it'll be a 3rd and short coming up for Audubon.
Audubon had tried to run that in the first half, but they got called for a motion penalty, because he went in motion and he becomes the lead back or the lead blocker. And 3rd and 1, I would keep it between the tackles and let Kiergaard get this first down.
3rd and 1 from the 28. Under 9 minutes to go here in Marengo. The closest quarterfinal of the night happening here. Kiergaard, empty backfield. Takes the snap. Running right side out of a tackle in the backfield. Trying to stretch the play out. He's near the first down as he got spun down. Good tackle by Xavier Peterson in the open field. I think he got the first down.
He should have gotten the first down. They're calling 4th down.
So the spot favors Iowa Valley. I thought he got, but we're looking across the field from it. They say he didn't get it, and it is a 4th and short for Audubon from the Iowa Valley 27. Todd, what are you seeing?
Kiergaard was brought out. They brought in Carson Wessel as their quarterback now, kind of a bigger quarterback.
4th and 1. Wessel, who was their quarterback last year and early this year, takes the snap. Quarterback run on 4th down. I think he got it.
Yep.
He was met at the point of attack and did a good job of lunging forward.
On the carry.
That was almost a tackle for loss by Spencer Airy, but Carson Wessel comes in.
Yeah, bring in the bigger quarterback, the senior. Not going to be scared by the situation. Comes in, and he was actually met at the line of scrimmage. He just used his power to gain that yard and get that first down.
So a gain of 2 gives Audubon a fresh set of downs. So we approach 8 minutes to go. Kiergaard will keep it, trying to go right side, broke out an ankle tackle in the backfield and gets wrestled out of bounds on the far side just south of the 21.
Audubon fans, there it is.
There's a flag coming in.
On the carry, forced out of bounds by Airy.
But I'm not sure that's on the tackle out of bounds. I think that might be.
I think that's on Audubon.
Yeah. I think that's got to be on somebody, either one of their coaches.
Kiergaard got thrown down, and somebody came soaring across the sideline and took
happened over there.
Took issue with what happened over there, and I think that's going to be a penalty on Audubon.
If it's any of the coaches and they came out of the coaching box, that's an automatic unsportsmanlike.
And it's a dead ball personal foul on Audubon.
Signaled against Audubon.
So that's a 15-yard penalty. Again, Kiergaard got spun down from where we're looking at. We can't tell if he was inbounds or out of bounds when he got spun down, but it was right on the Audubon sideline.
And that's a post possession. So therefore it'll be 2nd and long now for the Wheelers. Could not afford to do that. Not in a game like this.
So after the little to no gain and the penalty, it's 2nd and 25 coming up for Audubon from near midfield of the Iowa Valley 36-yard line. Little pitch in the middle to Christensen. Gets a couple yards, but not much, and now it's 3rd down.
Yeah, they've right now they've brought. I mean, you've got everybody at the line of scrimmage. They ran with twin receivers, so they've got man-to-man out here, and they're just daring Audubon to try to throw the football right now.
So 3rd and long. Coming up for the Wheelers. 7.5 to go in this game. They've got the ball in the Iowa Valley 34.
They kind of ran a backside play for Christensen early in this game. Screen. Might see it here.
Kiergaard with Mason Kasperbauer on his left hip in the shotgun. Kiergaard back to pass. Pressure coming. Breaks out of a tackle, but he's drifting backwards. Will throw, and it's intercepted. I think Kriegel dropped it as he made a diving play for it near the Audubon sideline. But there was pressure from the Iowa Valley interior. Kiergaard never could get comfortable. Elijah Lilly among those back there flustering him. And that penalty costly for Audubon, as they're likely going to have to punt it away on 4th down.
Yeah, he did a great job. Kiergaard did a great job just of getting out of a couple tackles because if he gets sacked back here at his own 30, that's definitely going to give Iowa Valley some good field position. As it is, they will still have the ball at the Iowa Valley. They're keeping the offense on the field.
They're lining up like they're going to go for it. Scared money don't make none, says Sean Burks. 4th and 20 from the 34. Kiergaard back to pass. Weber one-on-one, incomplete, but he was held. Kriegel was all over him, and that is going to be a penalty. The Iowa Valley side does not agree with that, Todd, but there was a lot of handsy stuff going on.
Most definitely pass interference.
Now, one thing to note, though, Todd, in high school football, a pass interference is not an automatic first down, so it's going to be
still going to be
spot, so it's going to be 4th and 5.
Yep. Even though the marker says 3rd down over there, it's going to be 4th and 5.
So if they're going for it on 4th and 20, they're going for it
most definitely
on 4th and 5.
Especially at the Iowa Valley 20-yard line.
So after the penalty, it is 4th down and 5 from the 20-yard line. 6:52 to go in this game. Audubon trying to grow their lead with a trip to Cedar Falls, hanging in the balance.
Throw it.
Kiergaard back to pass. Pressure coming. Kiergaard throws. It's incomplete. That was your guy, Chance Hoyt, that got pressure on him. Kiergaard just had to throw it out in the flat. I think it was Hudson Hooker who was in the area. But the Iowa Valley defense holds, and they're going to get the ball back with 6:48 to go.
We'd like to remind both teams in the
down by 7. Who said there's not defense in 8-man football?
Yeah, that number 4, their linebacker, Chance Hoyt, in the first half, I noted how he was the Iowa Valley defensive MVP, and he comes up big again on the blitz, forcing Kiergaard off his spot, rolling to his right and throwing under pressure.
So now Iowa Valley will start this drive on their own 20. Kriegel running up the middle, gets to the 25. Audubon had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. He gets past the Brody Weber tackle, and who knows? He gets up to the 27-yard line, a gain of 7.
Boy, there's some hitting going on. This is something John Madden would be proud of. This is one of those old-fashioned slobber knockers. It's hat on a hat. You can see Audubon's defenders running, taking on blocks, and it's just power football right now with both teams.
2nd and 3 from the 27. Nolan Kriegel's next rush will be his 34th of the night. And they will not come here. They give it a chance. Hoyt gets a couple of yards and still going, actually up past the 1st down. Kind of a smaller back. Hoyt does a good job of running behind his pads up to the 30-yard line, and it's a 1st down for Iowa Valley. As we get to 6 minutes to go in this one.
I think after how many carries did you say he had already?
This is 33.
Okay,
he's at 33.
Yeah, I think it was time to maybe give somebody else a chance, and who better than to give it to the linebacker that just made the play as running back Chance Hoyt, who powered for that 1st down.
1st and 10 from the 30. 5:40 to go in this one. Kriegel running left side up to the 34-yard line before being brought down. I think there's a flag right at the 30-yard line.
It's going to be a hold.
Looks to be a hold that'll back Iowa Valley up. And we do have an injured Wheeler down as well.
Penalty marker on the field.
I believe it's Jorgen Nowatzki who's being tended to. Other 8-man quarterfinal scores around the state tonight. This is the closest game. Audubon and Iowa Valley staging a doozy here in Marengo tonight. Woodbine has grown their lead on Fremont Mills up to 36-6. So the Tigers looking like on their way to the Dome. Also, Bishop Garrigan, they were close with Don Bosco early on. They've now got some separation. They're up a couple scores. And Gladbrook Rhinebeck up 34-12 on Edgewood Colesburg at the half. So if things hold true, those will be your 3 dome teams, and then the winner of this one moving on as well. And the state semifinal next Wednesday in Cedar Falls. And if those results hold true, the winner of this would be the 4 seed and face top-ranked Bishop Garrigan.
You know, Iowa Valley was getting 4 and 5 yards a chunk on their run game. And that play, that penalty, which to me it seems like that's their first of the game.
Well, they had the pass interference.
Pass interference, yeah, so that would be their second. But now they've got 1st and 19 from their own 21-yard line, makes it that much more difficult, and we're running out of time for Iowa Valley to try to tie this game.
5.5 to go here in this one. High drama in Marengo. Nolan Kriegel in the backfield. He will run right side. Kriegel got tripped up. He was about to burst. Gets brought down at the 27-yard line.
Kriegel on the carry,
and it's second down and about 13 coming up for Iowa Valley as we get to 5 minutes to go.
Looked like he was going to break that one, so can't really tell who broke that tackle, but right now, you know, what sets them back with that big penalty, you know, if they're going to continue to get 4 and 5, they're not going to get this first down, so they're going to have to get a big play here.
2nd and 14 from the 27. Under 5 to go. Kriegel running up the middle, spins out of one tackle, falls forward for a couple more yards to the 34. And now it's 3rd down coming up for Iowa Valley with 4.5 to go.
If they did decide to throw the ball right here, it would be a touchdown. Audubon is selling out. All 8 players are headed to the line of scrimmage, and if he would fake a run to the line of scrimmage, if they would sneak a guy out, so Audubon Wheeler defense is going to have to stay frosty here.
3rd and 5 from the 35. 4:05 to go. Kriegel running and gets up to the 38, 39-yard line. Stops shy of the first down, though, and it's going to be 4th and short coming up. And obviously, I don't probably even need to tell you they're going to go for it.
Yeah. Now, can Audubon do what they did before? And if I'm Iowa Valley, I run the same exact play. Because if you're going to run to the sideline, you know, Audubon's been blitzing some linebackers, and that's how they got stopped on 4th down before. Just run a quarterback power play right towards the line of scrimmage.
4th and 1 for Iowa Valley near midfield. Under 3.5 to go. Kriegel takes the snap, running forward into the pile.
Didn't get it.
I don't think he got it. They're still fighting, and then he gets wrestled down. And for the second time in the 4th, the Audubon defense stands tall on a 4th and short.
Defensive line stood it up. You could see at the point of attack that their white jerseys were running and moving that line of scrimmage. The black jerseys were stood up. He had nowhere to go.
So Audubon's defense has bent but not broke a couple of times tonight. And they're going to give the Wheelers the ball back at midfield with 3:18 to go. Up by 7. What a night for the Wheeler defense. Can the offense put together a drive that'll punch their ticket to the Unidome?
This is the drive to get to the Dome right here for the Wheelers.
Kiergaard, empty backfield with 3:18 to go. Looking over to the Audubon sideline. Now he'll take the snap. Kiergaard wanting to run left side. Doesn't get anything, actually lost about a yard. Iowa Valley does have all 3 timeouts per the scoreboard, so this is a big drive on both sides.
Iowa Valley's defense has really stepped up in the second half. With the letdown on one big pass play, really, Audubon has not had a run game to keep generating some first downs, and right there, they lose a yard on first down.
2nd and 11 from the 40. Clock continues to tick. 2:40 to go in this one. There is not a play clock here in Marengo, so we do not have the luxury of knowing what that is at. A little bit of high snap. Kiergaard running right, and then he slipped as he was trying to cut up field. He was going to have a one-on-one with Xavier Peterson, but he slipped. It'll be a loss of 1, and now Coach Casey Kroll called a timeout. As Audubon will face a 3rd and long from near midfield when we come back in a moment. KMA Extreme online, KMAland.com.
I'm Amanda Mather, Director of the SNC Community Pharmacy. We want to make it easy for you to get your essential medications. In one visit, our patients can see their provider, have prescription medications in hand, and speak with a pharmacist all before walking out the door. From the comfort of your own home with our free delivery services to your vehicle with curbside pickup, we can help. To learn more about our hours or other services, simply visit www.smchospital.com or call us at 712-246-7100.
Welcome back to Marengo. What an entertaining game we've had here tonight. Trevor Mader, Todd Jacobson with you. Class A players, state quarterfinal. Audubon trying to hold on and move on to a state semifinal. 3rd and 12 for the Wheelers from midfield. Iowa Valley's defense hoping to get a stop with 2:31 to go and a chance to give their offense the ball back. Aiden Kiergaard, empty backfield shotgun. Iowa Valley showing pressure. Kiergaard will run right side. Gets to the 36 before being stood up. Stays in bounds. Iowa Valley's going to call a timeout with 2:23 to go. And it's a 4th and 8 coming up for the Wheelers here, Todd.
Big
I thought
play.
maybe they'd go to the air.
We talked right there after that first timeout by Iowa Valley that, would you dare? But, timeouts are like gold bars, and you love to have them when times get tough. And so forcing Iowa Valley to call their second now after you punt, they're going to be left with one timeout. They'll have a couple minutes to try to score. Right now you're past midfield, so if you punt it and can possibly pin them inside the 10, it'll really help out your defense that has really stood up here, the Audubon defense, with 2 big 4th down stops.
So 4th and 6 from the 36, and it looks like they're going to punt it away with Hayden Larson. Nolan Kriegel is back to return. 4 years ago, Audubon moved to the Dome with the win over Waco Wayland on a Braden Wessel kick return right around this time in the game. High snap over the head of Larson. He is going to track it down, and he's going to try to punt it away. He does get it away, and then it's going to take an Audubon roll before being down by an Iowa Valley player at the 20. There's lucky, there's good. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Kick covered by Josh
Holy moly.
2:12 remaining.
That snap was over the head of Hayden Larson. And Larson, who's not a small guy, had to track that down. And wisely, Todd, how many times in that situation do you see somebody just fall on it?
Yeah.
He picks it up and gets away kind of like a rugby-style punt that then rolls inside the 20.
They would have had the ball. If he would have fallen on it, they would have had the ball 1st and 10.
I like the
from
22.
The Audubon, 22-yard line. Instead, they're taking over at their own 19-yard line with 2:12 left in the game and 1 timeout.
So Iowa Valley will start this drive on their own 19. Buckle up for a fun finish in Marengo. Kriegel back to pass. It was deflected. I think that was Christensen that got a paw on it. Weber was in there as well. And it's 2nd down.
That's the 2nd time, and he was open too. He had 2 receivers open out in the left flat. That's what I'm just trying to think back to this second half. I think that's the first time they've tried to throw the ball here in the second half, and luckily it got knocked down to the line of scrimmage because he had, I don't know, it looked to me like he had 4 open receivers out there, but 2nd and 10.
So Iowa Valley gets it back. Their own 20, 2:08 to go, 2nd and 10. Kriegel running up to the 24-yard line. And it's going to be 3rd down, under 2 minutes to go.
They're going to have to get going. No huddle here from Iowa Valley.
So 3rd and 5 for Iowa Valley. Again, they have just the 1 timeout. 3rd and 5 from the 24.
See if they try to throw here.
They'll have to go 56 yards in the next minute and 40. Kriegel will run it left side, close to the first down. Good open field tackle by Mason Kasserbauer. Kriegel, they like him being in one-on-ones.
I like the play call because they had all the running backs, receivers over here to the right. Kriegel caught the shotgun snap and just ran to the left. But, again, here we are, 4th down and a long one.
Audubon has won these battles the last 2 times in this quarter. 4th and 2 with the trip to Cedar Falls in the grass for one of these teams. Kriegel in the shotgun, running back on each side. Down to a minute and a half to go. Kriegel running left side. He gets the first down. 3rd time the charm on the 4th and shorts for Iowa Valley to the 31. The clock will stop so they can move the chains.
Casper Bauer's the corner on the right side, and he was calling it too.
Todd, about this time last year, you and I ventured this area to do a Bedford-Montezuma game that had kind of a similar finish. 1st and 10 from the 31. Kriegel back to pass, unwinds over the middle of the field, incomplete. Not able to come back to it was Lane Pesca. Pesca got a little separation, but Kriegel just underthrew him, and it's 2nd and 10.
It's 3-receiver route. They had twins on the right side. They had a single receiver on the left, and he was going for a go route. This inside receiver, actually, that was the post route that was just ran. And so they ran a twist route down here with the twin receivers, and I thought he was going to try to throw maybe to the out. But really, it's going to come down to these 3 frontline guys from Audubon to put pressure. And now they come back to the 2 tight, 2 running back set.
2nd and 10 for Iowa Valley. Kriegel running right, gets a block on the outside, 40, 30, and is brought down at the 28-yard line. Carson Wessel makes the tackle, but it's a first down run for Nolan Kriegel.
The corner on this side started peeking inside and gave up the edge. And they came back with power football, power sweep, and he got out of bounds.
Gain of 20 with 1:10 to go. Iowa Valley with the ball on the Audubon 29-yard line. Nolan Kriegel with a running back on each side. Kriegel taking the snap, wanting to run left side, gets a good block, cuts up to the 25, inside the 25 to the 24. Got tackled in bounds, though, so the clock will run. They still have the 1 timeout. They're going to sit on it for now.
Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
They're up to the 25. 2nd and 5 for Iowa Valley. Under 50 to go. They're taking their time on this snap. Down to 45. Kriegel running right side and gets upended at the 21-yard line, just shy of the first down. And now they're going to call that timeout with 39 seconds to go and a 3rd and short coming up.
Boy, the Audubon defense, they haven't been in any games this year. And you just worry about, hey, how's our conditioning? Because I'm sure this defense has very rarely had to really play intensity type of football this late in the game. And right now you can kind of tell they're just trying to hang on right now with everything they got, playing with a little grit.
3rd and 2 from the 21 coming up for Iowa Valley out of this timeout. Now the question, Todd, if you score.
Throw it. You throw it right now.
Do you go for 2 if you score, or do you play? I think you kick the extra point earlier, thinking that you have the chance to go for 2 later. Just my thought.
I don't know if I'd go for 2. You got a kicker.
Play for overtime?
Yeah. Man, you're at home. You're at home. Play for overtime. If you're on the road, you're not expected to win if you're on the road. And right now, be aware they might try to throw it here.
Kriegel, actually it's Pesca, takes the snap, running left side, gets a good block, gets up to the 15 and gets tripped up. Clock will continue. Clock will stop so they can move the chains, and then it will run. Iowa Valley trying to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Up to the 15. Clock is running. Down under 30 seconds to go. Kriegel takes the snap, running right side, following his blocks inside the 10. He didn't get the first down, so they're going to have to hurry.
They're going to have to clock it.
Down to 19 seconds to go. Down to 15.
His helmet, one of the Iowa Valley players,
and there's going to be a flag on the other side. What were you seeing there, Todd?
Well, one of the linemen from Iowa Valley, his helmet was partially off.
So if that's a penalty on Iowa Valley, it's going to back them up with 10 seconds to go, and they do not have any timeouts. I believe it was Mason Hoyt.
But isn't that a runoff?
There's no runoff in high school. As Ryan Matheny reminded me many years ago when I asked him. But the clock will start on the ready to play. So 10 seconds to go. There's no penalty, but the clock will run. Down to 10, 9, 8. Iowa Valley taking their time. Kriegel spikes it with 5 to go. Now, this is not a rule in the high school game, but in college and professional, you cannot spike it from the shotgun. That's not the case in high school. So Kriegel will down it. 5 seconds to go. 2nd and 10.
5 seconds remaining.
From the 15. One play with a trip to the state semifinals hanging in the balance for one of these teams. Audubon's going to put 3 guys on the goal line.
You might consider, Coach Burks might call a timeout and see how they set up. first and then call a timeout.
2nd and 10, but the down doesn't really matter. This is likely the final play of the game. Kriegel takes the snap, back to pass, and it's incomplete to Reed with 2 seconds to go. It was short of the goal line. It's actually probably a good thing that it was a little short and Reed couldn't catch it, because I don't know they were going to be able to get up and down it.
I thought for sure they'd try to get something into the end zone.
And now, one play from the 15-yard line, and it's such a big play, Todd Jacobson standing up.
This is a big one. This is it.
26-19, advantage Audubon. What does Iowa Valley drop here? Lane Pesca is going to take the snap at quarterback. Nolan Kriegel is on the left side, and Audubon head coach Sean Burks is calling a timeout.
He saw the same thing you did. You know, you put Pesca back to quarterback, and you put your 6'3", you know, getting some Division I looks here. You're putting him out at split end. I'm assuming that, hey, we're going to him. This is the guy that has got us in this game. He got us to this point in the season. We're just going to throw it in the end zone. But if I'm Audubon, I would throw some sort of bracket coverage on him, put somebody on the line of scrimmage or put something near him to kind of get him off his point, and then let your 3 defensive linemen get after Pesca's quarterback.
For a 4 versus 5 matchup, this is the type of stuff you hope for when the brackets are drawn out. Audubon and Iowa Valley have staged 47 minutes and 58 seconds of fun, and it all could come down to this final play.
Let's see if they come out in the same formation.
Audubon up by 7, so even if Iowa Valley scores, they're going to have some point after try, whether that be a kick, an extra point, and play for overtime or play for the win. Buckle up here in Marengo. Again, Pesca.
He's on the right this time.
Will take the snap. Kriegel on the right side, all kinds of cushion. Does Kriegel have? Final play of the game, barring a penalty. Pesca takes the snap. Back to pass. Scrambling. Pressure coming.
Why is he running?
Breaks out of a tackle, but he gets spun down. And Audubon's defense stands tall again. And the Wheelers make the long trek east and a leave with a trip to the dome.
I'm sure that's not what they had just discussed. To scramble from the 15-yard line to try to score a touchdown. What a playoff game. What an eight-man dandy here in Marengo.
Iowa Valley had it, one play at the 15-yard line. Lane Pesca decided to run and get stopped inside the 10. Todd, I kind of actually thought with the separation they had on Nolan Kriegel, I almost would have went a screen or something and maybe tried to get Kriegel to win a one-on-one, but how about the Audubon defense tonight?
They stood up, and those 2 edge defenders got up the field and forced Pesca, the quarterback, to step up into the pocket. And then he saw a lot of daylight, but at that point, once he crossed the line of scrimmage, you know, as good as Audubon is on defense and fast, there was little chance that he was going to try to get through the remaining 5 defenders from Audubon to try to score right there.
So Audubon's season continues on, and they'll get a play in the cozy confines of the Unidome next week, likely against Bishop Garrigan. Meanwhile, Iowa Valley's phenomenal season comes to an end at 10-1. And Todd Jacobson, I know 8-man football maybe kind of gets this image of being high-scoring video game numbers, but man, tonight was kind of your style of football, my friend.
Yeah, the 11-man that we get used to seeing, you know, these high scores when you're getting 80s. And I just, my hat's off to both these teams. Iowa Valley, don't expect that they're going anywhere. They only have 5 seniors on their team. They've now moved one step closer to their goals that a lot of these juniors and sophomores that play. So I'd expect them to be right back here next year. And for the Wheelers, you know, they weren't really tested. No, they weren't tested all year round. Until tonight, and they showed their mettle by stepping up and having some, especially in the second half. Their 4th down defense saved their season tonight.
They had 2 4th and short stops before the final play where they also stood tall. And the Wheelers, for the first time since 2021, or the 3rd time in 7 years, will play in a state semifinal next week in a game that we'll have on the KMA airwaves. What a fun one in Marengo tonight. The Audubon Wheelers, a 26-19 winner. Looking forward to telling you all about that later on. KMAland.com. You listen to high school football on the KMA Extreme For Todd Jacobson, I'm Trevor Mater saying good night and so long from Marengo.
I'd like to now direct your attention to midfield as Principal Janet Barnes, representing Iowa Valley High School.